Of course I'm actually live. What does that mean, Ducky? Oh, rickety, 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 rickety. Rickety, right, let's get down to it. Howdy, howdy. What it do, what it do? It's time for the best region in ALGS, baby.
Can Sweet lead his way to the top again alongside Funk and Slayer? Get ready for an exciting chapter as this formidable Oversleepers qualification to Pro League. They're underdogs, but they have great potential. Badri, the 16-year-old M&K prodigy, must be keen to show us what he is capable of. Alongside former
We're probably going to have to
pros
reset
JP
this
and
page, I have a feeling, but we'll go ahead and at least set these ones up now.
His Watson returns to competitive. After a short break to recharge his batteries, he's back with Furia, and this time alongside his ride-or-die Keon. Add in Madness to complete the three. This team has some
I'm telling you, bro,
firepower.
I think Furia has the potential to take a run.
Three, but this trio comes pre-installed with more synergy than most teams. XSET made a big move, grabbing roller prodigy Koifel, whose Pro League debut rocketed him to the tops of conversations along roller veterans like Jen Burton, Verhulst, and Effect. If he maintains his solid form, this could result in XSET moving from a solid top 5 worldwide to LAN winners. DarkZero, a 3-time LAN winning team, isn't resting on their laurels. Despite
I was thinking about it.
They've opted for a big change, bringing in Sykes to replace Zainu. Is this the key to reclaiming their championship
See if I regret it by the end of the night.
Esports has made shockwaves in 2 regions by leaving APAC South to follow DarkZero to NA. They've also picked up Guild, the last free agent from NRG. And we're expecting them to gel seamlessly, but will they stake a claim in NA? Year 3 LAN Dark Horse, the Dojo are back with the same roster. Timmy, Designful, and N.
Off to a good start. Off to a good start. Looks like we're still live though, so it looks like it's just a.
But others are confident that they're mentioning TSM, unarguably the most successful ALGS team of all time. They've made themselves a target early on in Split 1 with
kind of working, but not actually.
Lovers.
I feel it.
Will this affect their ability to qualify for Split 1 playoffs? Or will they chase off Meat Lovers away from their POIs? There's a power vacuum forming in APAC South following Moist Esports' move to NA. Everyone expects Primus Commanda, formerly Blackhand, to be the top contender, but will they stand their ground or will a new team stamp their authority on the region?
Primus
Divine
Commanda
has formed a team of 3 APAC veterans. Pricey comes out of retirement alongside Wei and Shady. With tons of experience on the team, they've got the potential to make a real splash in the region. If Primus Commanda can't find their way to the top, then Boogie Borders will be happy to take over. Former Onyx members Raki and Fussy joined forces with star controller player Panavi to make a bid for the top spot in the region after spending the last couple of years in Moist Shadow. Time to speculate about the King's downfall. Fnatic is rebuilt around Yuka F, Satsuki, and Laika. Yuka F hands over the macro reins to Laika, and we're all waiting to find out if this is the right move, or is this gonna open up the region for a massive battle to take their shot at the crown?
I still think Pulverex came out ahead in the
North Eption. After some revolving
player
changes, Taida,
personally,
Daisy, and Yuka Predator want to step up expectations and leave their mark on the global stage. They'll have it all to prove as they set their sights on their former teammate Satsuki and look to dethrone Fnatic and claim the #1 spot for themselves. Crazy Raccoon is back. After heartbreak,
Woo woo!
as Raz
Crazy
got called
Raccoon,
up for
baby.
military service, the team did not
Yeah,
compete
yeah.
at the Year 3 ALGS Championships. For Year 4, Crazy Raccoon has signed the fan favorite team Gombare Otosan, a staple on the LAN stage. Dogma, Juzna, and Jung-hee have an org, and Crazy Raccoon has a team expected to perform. Coming off a hiatus, Matsutasu has returned to Pro League, this time to join alongside Shunmi and Suda Taiken underneath that Reignite banner. Experienced and talented, they will have to get comfortable together to shoot for the
legs
top.
are tired.
After all, Matsutasu has a legacy to
And I've been
uphold
sitting
of
most of the
finishing
weekend.
top 10 at every LAN he's been to, and it would be a shame to break the streak now. In EMEA, we've got a brand new org, ESG, looking to make a splash in the region by grabbing up Lufka, Light, and Blast alongside Coach Luke. Aftermath Esports have crossed the pond from South America to EMEA. Stelizy, Kirev, and Flash have kept
I'm not gonna lie,
ALGS
chat.
dreams
After
alive
week
and will
one
be planning to give the fans in this new region
of
a
ALGS,
reason to remember their names.
I'm nervous for adding
EMEA
in
number
Fridays
one
of
seed
RLCS
Element
next week.
6 has a fresh new look, adding in 2 new talents from the roller pool, Cracked and Slab.
Just in the
Element
sense of
6
like,
has been dominant in the
I'm
EMEA
definitely
region,
gonna need
but
to
has
only
never
be
been
on
able to
a
swipe
Monday
that
through
trophy.
Friday workout
Swinny
schedule.
will be hoping this new roster gives them the juice to go all the way.
And like, I just
Longtime
need
fans
to
of the EMEA ALGS
be
will
very
stoked
disciplined on
to
the
welcome
weekends.
back Bryn. Popular among pros, this hot prospect back in 2022 vanished from the scene. Like a phoenix, he's risen from the ashes and playing alongside Sir Dell and Noises on the team The Full English. This trio will want to pick back up where they left off and remind fans why they loved him. Aurora also lean into the Year 4 Phoenix storyline, confirming the return of M&K legend Hardeki, joining the duo of Impulse and Oirein. When you take an
All right, reconnected.
Despite challenges like Shiv's injury, Mandy's retirement, and a tense last game in preseason qualifier, the team, including Zerifer, is driven by motivation. With no expectations and everything at stake, they're set to bring an all-out, unstoppable energy to the ALGS Pro League. With all this and more, we're looking forward to the best year of Apex Legends esports ever. Find us on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and be sure to follow us for the start of Year 4 ALGS Pro League on January 20th. See you there.
All right, chat. Time to get down and do what it do, baby. We should be back up and running on our platforms. Sorry about that. What's up? Nope. I was wondering if you guys ate.
Oh my god. No way you're gonna do this, Jen! No way! Getting 1v1 on the wall, see no his voice! Gets the opening knock! The CEO!
Okay.
With a hostile
you.
takeover! TSM are your champions! Welcome to year
Call it a hot
4
take,
in the
chat. And I know if
ALGS.
Moon's here, he's just gonna think I'm hating
And it's
again.
time to
I
get
don't think
underway
TSM
with
makes
the
land
best that Battle
split one.
Royale has to offer in the world. My name is Rainday, and I am so ready after a long off season and a brand new year. Happy New Year, by the way. It's a chance to see stories unfold, maybe new stories that we haven't seen before, and maybe tried and tested stories that have passed on from just normal consideration into a mythos that will not be able to be competed
What do we think,
against.
chat?
Will the likes of TSM raise their trophy again, which is where we left them just a few months ago? Or will we see all the roster changes, all the swaps come to fruition for a new team to make themselves a chance at having
I would love
glory.
to see native.
Of course, the biggest name in the ALGS. All of that to unfold, and it starts off here with day one, and that's why we're going to get underway here. Everyone,
You know, let's refresh this real quick one last time.
And make them feel more under pressure than ever. It's going to be an amazing season, and I'm sure this is going to be a day to remember too.
And of course, for those who didn't see,
So no one on DarkZero is streaming. It doesn't look like, not yet.
Down as an amazing color commentator, he's won the esports award for color commentary last November. So congratulations right off that. And Dan, again, a fresh start not only to the ALGS but to a year for all of us to get this action back.
Yeah, and we know that North America delivers in a very different way to what we saw from EMEA earlier as well. So
We've got Shuby, yep.
People have got up their sleeves because scrims
Shuby
have
should
told
be
us
right
a few
here.
things, but as we learned in EMEA, scrims don't tell us the whole story. But we will start to develop that story starting here today.
Yeah, that's one of the interesting elements about live, whether it's a show, whether it's a tournament, an event like this, you always see different results than practice. It's just one of those exciting things that makes sure you have to keep your eyes glued to the screen. For those joining us and maybe not familiar with how the ALGS runs, or if you've had a couple of moments in the off season where now you're trying to get back into the flow, we've got a perfect video to set up how the course of this season will take place and transpire, and ultimately,
I guess let's
how you'll
maybe
get
do
some finals
chaotic
play in the Split 1 playoffs.
and monsoon.
The Split 1 regular season features 4 regions made up of 30 teams, seeded into 3 groups of 10 teams each.
And then we'll check back in as we get a little bit closer and see if there's any
3 times. After these matches have been
one
completed,
we want to change
the
out.
top 20 teams, according to the regular season standings, will compete in the regional finals. At the conclusion of the regional finals, 40 teams, including teams from all 6 ALGS regions, will have qualified for the Split 1 playoffs.
Of course, if you need any more information than that, sometimes it takes a rewatch. Check out the QR code on your screen. Grab your phone, whether it has this cute little Nessie icon behind that's, you know, homemade as well. Again, shout out to Dia and his partner for making this for us in the green room. Go up, use that, and then it'll take you right to the landing page, give you all the information on when our ALGS broadcasts take place, so you never need to miss a beat. Of course, missing a beat could be something that happened over this offseason, fellas. It was a tremendously wide open space. We talked about this idea of a great reset, partially because every team needed to see how they could best compete. And
chat.
really, they're aiming for first. A lot of these teams have been beneath first for a while, so there really had to be some major changes. But just as an idea,
I'm gonna
I know
step
we've
up the
got a
stretch for a
graphic
second here real
indicating
quick,
just
actually.
a little bit of what has transpired. Mark, we'll get into that in just a moment, but before we even do jump in there, I want to lead this to Dan. A few new ways to get some points, Dan, this season?
Yeah, if you've been watching ALGS, you kind of know how the point system works. You get points for where you place, you get points for how many kills you get, and then that's all totaled up for your total score for that series. There are now bonus points that you can achieve. If you get over 50 points or greater over the second place team, you're awarded with an extra bonus point, and you can also get a bonus point for every match you win over 50%. So if you win 4 matches, you get a bonus point. If you win 5 matches, you get 2 bonus points, and probably with 5 match wins, you're probably going to be 50 points over the second team as well, Rain Day. So some bonus points are there available for people to get them, just to keep on trucking and to reward those teams who truly dominate their groups.
I mean, it's just that simple. I mean, 5 match wins, couple of bonus points. I mean, there it is. Split 1 playoffs, you just win that. You win champs. Seems like the season is starting off pretty simple. I teed this off a little early, Mark, but I want to get into it now. The roster changes have been significant. Walk us through. We've got a graph to support this, but walk us through, I mean, just the concept of this great reset and how many teams have made swaps over the course of these last few months.
I mean, this beautiful graphic, shout out to Tanya, by the way, for doing that on Twitter, but it kind of indicates the carnage that's gone down, right? These are our roster changes on our partner teams. There are so many more that have gone down, but they're the big names. They're the ones that are in front of you right now. Something to note, of course, Moist moving over to North America as well to compete, and Guild has joined that lineup. You've got Complexity making big changes. FaZe, who just announced their roster as well. Zero Tricky Pandas, and of course, Snipe Down still there holding it down. And then you've got the likes of DarkZero DarkZero, massive change for them as well, picking up Sykes over from Xset, who then in turn look at Sentinel's roster and go,
I
hey,
think
you know what? We wanna
Snipedown's
take
team
Coilful
still
away,
being
and that's
picked up by the
exactly what
FaZe
they
roster
did.
is
There has been
interesting.
so much that's gone down. Didn't even get to mention Furia or DSG. It's just, it's crazy. Honestly, you won't see many off seasons that make this many changes at the top. So get ready for a roller coaster.
By the way, what do we think were
I
like
just
the
wanna shout
talking
out to
points from E EMEA?
one of the talent in R6, Jess Goat, I think she's been nominated as well. She mentioned if I had something like that on my broadcast, I would be so grateful. So Tanya, again, big shout out to you and big shout out to our production team for allowing that visual to make something that's very confusing a lot easier to read in the off season. It is a little bit hazy, and however, I think it leads us back to conversations that sometimes are not. We come into North America with a clear focus on maybe who the top teams are, teams that are absolutely familiar faces, and you cannot.
I think the Sky's the top 5 team
in
NA. Thoughts, chats?
Rosters: TSM, Imperial Howl, Reps, and Verholz. They went back and forth against DarkZero to see who would be the best last year. Championships sealed the deal in dramatic fashion in September.
Even though they were a
of
PLQ
2023.
team.
What a performance. They are certainly the team to beat,
Or
but they've
or,
been known to have slumps,
LCQ
whether in
team.
the beginning or in the middle of these split ones. So will they start off strong is our question today. Optic Gaming, they finished 2nd place, and notoriously them and NRG could have actually ended the tournament before TSM had that amazing back-to-back wins to seal the deal, but dropped Skittlecakes and not finally finding the rhythm that they wanted to. Dropped, leaving SSG and finding a real great home in Optic Gaming, but disguised, or should I say 100 Thieves for It's Timmy, maybe both. He's representing dual orgs, one competitively, one for content, alongside Designful and Enemy. A 4th place finish in championships. These guys are real, and it was actually a real good surprise for us to see that they would be joining this guys, because most people didn't think it could happen. In fact, the negotiation tactics were pretty impressive. We have some behind the scene footage of how it all took place.
Nice wig, as you may have heard, DSG Apex team.
This announcement video is dope,
Bro.
bro.
Guy. All I do is watch Apex. Albert, 5-time champion, former TSM member, phenomenal player.
That's pretty good.
Would say.
Does he get much viewers on Twitch?
I'm not. I could check. I mean, I don't know if that. Okay. Clout's everything. Let me get another one. Former FaZe member, phony. Clout, FaZe goes hand in hand. Top 5 at LAN.
Pretty good. How many Twitter followers does he have?
Again, kind of weird. I'm not really
Again, nice wig, Cloud.
He said kinda weird.
You don't actually have to be good at the games. You just have to be famous, like Sentinel.
Yeah, you know, I'm starting to see that.
Damn.
Zainu, LAN champion as well. He doesn't get much better than this.
Does he post on TikTok? Like TikTok's the new big thing.
Do you want him posting thirst trap?
Yeah.
I have no idea what he's doing. Cloud.
What about how about that Timmy guy? What's he up to?
He's pretty good. But
And he has a lot of Twitter followers.
tons of Twitter, but he's on 100 Thieves. I don't see how that's gonna work out.
All right. Now, why don't we just ask him? Timmy, you want to join DSG? Sure.
Dude, all of the I love how all of the DSG announcements are the same. They have a talk and they're like, well, why don't we just ask him? Hey, you want to play for TSG? Sure.
The one-liner. You killed it though. Me in that chair? 50 takes. No, you're going, bro.
I love it there. You know, Disguise, he drives a hard bargain toast. Make sure you got to have the Twitter followers. It was almost going to be Zainu Thirst Traps on TikTok. Dan, I'm glad we went a different direction here, but it seems like Timmy and his squad, Dojo, formerly, have found a good spot.
Yeah, definitely. And I like the 100 Thieves have allowed it to happen as well, because it means that we get even more coverage from different organizations joining DSG. I mean, actually, Disguised Toast, who won an award at the Esports Award as well.
Yeah.
Great to see new organizations coming into play and making sure they have
It's interesting seeing
I'm excited to see what they can
more
do, though,
creators
because
getting
they're one of the few
involved
teams that
in
have stuck together
orgs, right? So we
throughout
saw
all of
Ludwig
WrestleMania,
joining
and
Moist,
I'm sure that we're going to see some great
and
stuff.
is very involved on the
fact,
Valorant
let's take over
side.
and take a look at what
This
we
guy
did
is
with Timmy
toast with
earlier before the
DSG.
season started. Hear a little bit about him and his thoughts on Disguised.
Hey guys, it's Timmy here. My teammates are Design, Enemy, and our coach is Bronzine. We are on the team Disguise, also known as DSG. It's honestly a great feeling, you know, me, Design,
Yo,
Enemy,
Ducky
and
with
Bronzy
the
get a
7
org to
stream
represent.
streak. Oh
They're
my
gonna do their
goodness.
absolute jobs to
My boy
really
out
put
here
us
grinding.
there, and
Appreciate
we
you,
get
fam.
to just focus on winning. So I think me and the boys are gonna go crazy this year, and I'm really excited. It's really cool, you know, like I never thought I could be on 2 orgs at once, but you know, 100 Thieves was really kind to let me compete on DSG.
He said,
as a pro
okay,
player,
back to
and,
YouTube.
You know, there's a lot of back ends, you know, have to meet. But at the end, I do think it's a really cool opportunity, and I'm really excited to be a content creator for 100 Thieves and do my best for them, and also compete on DSG.
Obviously, so much from that story, but Mark, more stories in terms of new contenders here in North America to talk about.
Yeah, certainly some squads to keep your eye on right now. Native Gaming, I want to talk about them.
Ramboski!
But Rambo is back, everyone.
Yeah!
With the hair and the man who loves to frag. He is back in the ALGS, and he's going to be certainly a player to keep your eyes on. PLP, a team which is made up and IGL by Phony. Frex is going to be joining him, and Zainu, the land champion, will be on that squad. Very excited to see what they can do, of course, led by the IGL in Phony. And then you've got, of course, Moist Esports moving over, I mentioned, from ANZ, and they're picking up Guild, who's not too bad of a player himself. Obviously, the
Is it ANZ or ANZ?
They compete in North America for the first time, trying to follow in the footsteps of DarkZero.
And then from new contenders, we've got our new beginnings, but you could arguably say some of these could be new contenders as well. DarkZero, how can we not talk about DarkZero? Carrying on the same path as they had before, picking up another controller player as a replacement, Zero, Jem Burton, and Sykes. I think they are going to be a squad to watch. And then the return of his Watson, Furia. They really pioneered the way.
Bro, they really putting up the hair on his Watson.
His Watson was at his very best, and I'm excited to see what they can do here in Pro League alongside.
Bro got a shaved head now.
Of course, Madness is an IGL. Impressive to say the least. And then LG, the announcement was finally made. Sweet makes his return alongside Slayer and Funk to put together a very impressive squad. But will it work when they get out of the dropship? I can't wait to see it, Rain Day.
Pretty amazing stuff from, I believe, just Furia. That comeback from his Watson, I'm keeping my eyes on that so much here. But all to prove, this is somebody, and these teams are people that really you need to pay attention to. 2 out of 3 of them.
They really put GKS up on the
and I think this is a great sign for teams
graphic. That's funny.
A strong start. GKS, Saucer, Sleepy Panda, Chaotic Much have to show up big today. Zach Mazer on Elevate Gaming, he's had leadership opportunities from Cloud9 and huge rosters. Can he do it with Shubi and Zap this time around? Finally get what he needs to get going there. And Mark,
yeah, I think you put Madness with the duo of Watson and Keon, and I really think Furia is going to be able to make some noise this year.
2 new players alongside him to do exactly that. You've got a man who isn't too unfamiliar with a shotgun, but it's going to be a Nasher swapped out for a Peacekeeper or a Mastiff. For A1's a former Gears of War man there himself. And I think Meat Lovers, understandably, ought to prove very hot contest story, as we know, with a certain 3-lettered name team. We'll have to see how that pans out in the following.
Oh, I wonder if Tempo's got drop spots for
TSM. Are going to have a home for themselves.
Yeah, very, very interesting. One of the first active 4-man rosters that we've heard about. We'll see if that ends up showing up. Will they change? We have time to figure that out. But of course, today we'll take a look at groups A versus B, and let's just zoom in on who's in each group. For our viewers at home,
we'll wait for after this graphic. Actually, we'll go over drop spots.
And of course, TSM. That's in our. Excuse me, I almost said it again. LG Sweet and TSM Imperial Howl going back to back. We know the friendly rivalry there. They will play in Group A whenever you see them around. Group B, as well, features, like everyone, some star-studded teams from DarkZero all the way to
Optic. I mean, that's a pretty good 3 there. I think Optic might also pop off.
Time to overall get things going. He had mentioned earlier in a tweet, but they feel confident that they've been putting in the work this week to make things happen. Group C, they will not debut today. That will be next weekend. But that's, if you're waiting to watch, it's Timmy, Killer Sins, Swaltzy, those big names in Apex. And hey, his Watson, and how that works out, that is Group C for you. They will debut next weekend. But Dan, eyes on Group A versus B today. Anything stand out to you before we jump into game?
Certainly the obvious ones, TSM, Optic, is their fine form going to carry on into another year of ALGS. I want to see what Complexity have to offer. Very excited always to see Monsoon on our screens. LG will have a big question mark above them as well. What can they prove to us here on the first match day? And I'm sure Mark agrees that this could be a chance for DarkZero to certainly prove what they're made of as well.
Yeah, DarkZero, very, very dangerous team. Want to give a shout out to Elevate Gaming as well. Been performing very, very well in scrims, and I think keep your eye on them. Even though there's
interesting to see that Gent is DarkZero's sub.
Swap of rosters, maybe some players and teams and fans not believing in them. Well, they've come together now and they are performing and putting in some results. So I have to see if they can do that on game day when it really matters.
We've seen EMEA. We saw how even that was, despite it being element 6 winning, but so many teams within that top 2 to 6 so close could have taken it. North America, I expect.
What do we think, chat? Do we see a
few teams stand out from the pack, at least in the early days?
Do we see a HAL controller throw today?
This is where our champions have come from this
I guess that'd be
year.
the
All
other
the
lobby,
clan
wouldn't it?
champions
TSM's
have
not
been playing in
contested
North
today.
America. Will that stay the same? Either way, we know we're going to get some juggernaut gameplay going on here. So without further ado, fellas, let's kick it off. Let's kick year 4 into gear. And our first split, our first day. Mark, Dan, take it away.
Our first taste of North America. What is it going to bring to
I don't
the
think
table?
any
What
of
are we gonna see in front of
our
us, Dan? It is an amazing time to be part of Apex.
POVs are in the contests.
The ALGS is back, everybody. I want to see some W's in the chat for this gameplay because this is where we start. This is our map rotation. It's A and B in the lobby today. Stormpoint kicking us off.
Yeah, some changes since the last time we saw Stormpoint in ALGS at Champs. We've got some new POIs. We've even got new tridents on the map. Barometer has a new trident to work with, which is going to be great for any squad dropping or rotating through that zone. But ultimately, we're going to be keeping a keen eye, as always, on contests. Who's going to be fighting who? Which teams are going to be able to get those early fights out of the way?
Wouldn't it be
how will
whom?
affect them as things go down? As far as I'm aware, we have potentially 2 contests happening in A versus B at the wall between Casual and Temper and Northpad between Secret Formula and Eternal. So both of those teams will have to keep an eye on in the early fights.
We certainly
Yo,
will
what up,
indeed.
team?
And there is,
How you doing, buddy?
Which has had a few contests going down over the last few months of scrims, but today TSM will call that home. See some of the new POIs as well as we fly our way around Stormpoint, right in the center of the map there. Beautiful little POI to call your own if you can get it. And elsewhere, you can see all of this that you can see on your screen right now essentially becomes one POI. You can see why TSM was so happy to fight for it. But match 1 is alive, everybody. The dropship is ready. It's a new season of the Apex Legends Global Series here in North America. Gaskin, take us away.
And dropship path is always very important as well. This one is going to be very far for the likes of teams that are going to be dropping over towards the Nota.
All right, game number 1, chat. Let's get down and do what it do, baby.
Fast, it can be very important for your rotation. Speaking of dropping in,
Dropping gaming.
We'll be dropping fast, and they'll be looting up, and they'll be taking the fight.
The rampage.
2 shields going to be broken. Stunny doing some really good work with that rampage.
Honestly, Stunny's gotten, I think, all 3 players cracked.
So he's going to have to retreat to one of these bins, and somehow or other, slightly surprising not to see a knock in that situation, Dan, considering the damage that was done.
Yeah, this is a contest I wasn't expecting to happen down at Echo. No one taking Coastal Camp, so maybe it's an attempt to assert dominance here, and then if you do win the fight, you can move on and continue your loot path.
DNO on the other side of this. Purple mag on the car, by the way, which certainly can very, very easily destroy a white shielded player. However, the Peacekeeper gonna poke and the Peacekeeper gonna hurt. Cross has to retreat now, and Duplex is gonna have to hit the Q to keep him in this fight. But the damage is all on one side at the moment, Dan. You can say DNO not really in this fight.
And this is something we were speaking about in EMEA as well, how elongated these fights can be because of Conduit. We've got the ability just to shield up your team and make it even harder to get a wipe. And at the moment, it's at a standstill, just staring at each other like dogs through glass, waiting to try and attack one another.
And now you're going to see, they see an opportunity because one player has left. So there might be an opportunity just to create a 2v1 scenario. Dropping Gaming wanted to take it, but weren't quite able to. Now you're looking at the meds and the backpack to see.
My bad, chat. I realized I didn't type, or I didn't leave notes for EMEA for the video. I just wanted to do that real quick before we get into NA.
So maybe this fight just comes to an end, and I'm looking at teams that are nearby. You've got Flat over towards Pylon, who could have a look at this one if they want.
This contest has kind of lasted a bit, huh?
So this should be an isolated fight that no one else truly benefits from potentially third partying. However, it does mean that the likes of Flat and PLP rotating from.
So it looks like we're gonna get us a Zeus station
into the circle because we're going to be going
wall.
Up we're heading up towards
probably ends on that hill in between.
And you can see there was a few different teams it drops. I mentioned Casual Gaming. They're now FaZe because they've been
where it has those 2 buildings that have the zip line between. It's probably gonna end around there.
Announcement that happened today as well.
One team who's going to be very happy with that.
Secret
zone
Formula's
is gonna be dropping over at Zoo Station, one of the new
hurting
POIs.
right
They're
now.
gonna have
Down to
great
a duo.
priority to
They're
where
falling
that
back
zone
from
is going,
EEC.
probably around the eggs or maybe on the little platform just to the side of it. But a little bit of a chase going down here. You can see EEC trying to chase down Ubin, and Ubin is unfortunately for him still alive, but looking a little bit, shall we say, weak. Shall we say?
Eternal
desperate to heal.
Esports Club.
Well, this is another fight that's just been going on for so long as well.
The Lions end up winning today?
We knew
That's
this contest
dope.
was potentially happening. This is good news for Optic because it means they can loot even longer at down Beast because this rotation isn't going to be particularly affected by them. But both teams, again, just kind of backing off. Secret Formula getting away from Eternal here, but yeah.
I mean, the script's been leaked already. It's the Niners versus the Ravens in the
Interesting
Super Bowl.
going down on POIs like this Northpad. Obviously, it's not like you would say a priority POI for a number of reasons. Tough rotates, not the best of loot pools as well. But the fact that you can test a POI that doesn't have great loot, even if you win it, even though you might have a little bit of crafting, kind of it's an interesting one to take. But you can understand maybe they just.
Anyone else seen that meme going around?
Winning that DarkZero though.
That picture, I don't know if it's like actually a meme or if it's an actual picture. What up? What?
Was probably the most disappointing moment of their careers, I would say. Certainly for Jemba and Zero. Very well documented. Did not make the finals, which it was probably the most shocking story to come out of the ALGS champs of last year. It was almost sacrilegious not to see DarkZero fighting it for that trophy.
Yeah, you got to remember that the only other teams that have been able to get trophies.
Baker throwing the game-winning INT. That's a big old feels bad, bro.
Final, but that doesn't mean they can't come back with a vengeance here. And Sykes being added to this squad, another roller player who has some incredible achievements and also is going to do a lot of damage, especially under the IGL abilities of Zero, because we know what a massive brain he has. Here is the newly announced phase. Snipe down, picking up Pandas and Zero Tricky, and I'm excited to see how they progress this season. Having the organization phase behind you is always going to add those like extra little bits of pressure on your shoulders, that's for sure, but something that Snipe Down's very used to.
Yeah, pressure not really a problem for some of these players. They've been there, they've done that. You see Pandas as well, of course, formerly Furia for him. And one thing to keep your eye on here for them is great position, great rotate, very, very quick to get into these eggs, like I mentioned, which is probably where this zone is going to be pulling towards that end game. But you're looking at the efficiency of what they had to give up essentially to get to this position quickly.
I still don't understand the phase thing.
You see the 301 did not have a sight on it as well. They sacrificed essentially a loop path to try and get into that prio position, and they're going to have to play from there.
Wow, look at this.
Oh, they just 3-2-1'd his ass. Oh no!
Catch them right on the crafter as well.
Damn.
GKS
GKS dirty.
A little bit patient, and this is another reason why that elongated fight that Drop-In Gaming had hurt them, because they would have heard that commotion and they could plan effectively.
One thing I love about that as well is that you get a free battery. It's like the ultimate insult, right? The player who crafted the bat. It's like, not only am I dead, I have to watch them take away my hard work. But, I mean, you got to do what you got to do in these lobbies. We mentioned it earlier. The lack of Seer, the lack of Bloodhound, the lack of scan meta means those plays become viable once more. And if you are rotating, you have to check every single corner because you don't have the legends in the meta at the moment, which are going to do it for you. So you have to keep your eyes on it, and GKS take advantage.
Yep, now they've got to make their long old journey from south to north. They will or should have a comfortable journey up to Command Center, but there is a chance they could meet flat a little bit later. We've also got to keep an eye right on that southwest. Skirt still down towards Cenote and will still be moving in at some point, so GKS are not the last to move in.
Is Native about to be finding oxygen?
Yourselves, you think, Bo? There's a team in the middle of it.
No. You guys are 5 seconds ahead of me.
He's right here. He's right here. I think Kraber this guy,
man. Ooh. Kraber his ass, Bo.
He sees it.
Oh. Let's go.
Catwalled.
42 on the guy trying to res.
Yeah. There's one on the right over here. I smoked him off.
It's the broski Ramgoatski.
They haven't res. They haven't res. They haven't res. They haven't res. I'm walling between.
This team has white armor. He's running away with white armor.
I'm up. I'm playing.
Just get the full kill and
wow,
chill.
wow. Just got it.
Okay, come back up with me, Bo. Come back up.
Replicator on its way.
They're shooting right here. They're shooting right here.
Let's go, Bo.
I need those cells. I only have 2. Here, I'll get them. I dropped somewhere here.
Did he have a digi? Or do either of you have a digi?
No, I don't. Watch out, Mama. Just watch me.
Take a quick peek in with everybody here real quick. LG's got the blue, and two blues with a white tee. TSM's got 2 blue with the purple. We just saw
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
native.
I have no nades from all.
This we got 3 purples sitting here with E8.
Give you an arc in it there.
FaZe has got a blue and 2 white tees. Oxygen 2 purples with a white blue. GKS got 2 purple and a gold. And Complexity down 1. Got a white tee and a blue.
I'm chopping down. I just keep getting long bread and not fucking idiot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
E8's gonna have to try and find their way into zone
they
here.
walk over our head. Like, I mean, we just have.
We
to
know that
go.
they've had somebody's attention over here on this northern side of the zone.
I'm just gonna show.
Yeah, I'm 7-3. All the prowlers aren't dead, bro.
This kid's speaking here at 100.
Yeah. Are they conduit or what?
I'm not sure.
Have you hit him on conduit?
Yo, honestly, the
Nah,
Shuby
it's okay.
Zapdo combo
Alright, they
could
get
go
started now, so this is
nutty.
dodge you, so
Yeah.
just make sure we're in position to defend this.
Yeah, if they come up that zip, you just gotta Peter and shoot the shit out of them because they're not safe all the way up until here. And you guys have to hold where you guys are, okay?
And Zach's got some land
Just
experience.
be careful. Getting fucking timing.
What are you?
Because they're gonna get shot
Big
in the
car?
back. Like,
Okay, we gotta just kill them. Can we break the bottom floor?
Top 4 and some of top 4.
Okay, follow me then. Follow me.
Come in.
TSM's gonna move in here. Looks like they're gonna try and
Come
take
up,
real
come
estate
forward,
on
come
one of
forward.
these nuts.
We're coming up. Hey, wait, it's on the other side.
Other side, bro. Other side.
Play for bottom. Play for bottom. Come to me.
I'm gonna die. I'm one shot. I gotta heal.
He's only white feet.
Just chill. Just fucking chill. Break horizontal. Reinforce that.
All right, so they've been able to get into the bottom floor in the nut building.
Break horizontal instantly. We have no more bats.
They're gonna be able to get a reset here as well.
Dropping this for you, Evan.
Popping that.
Give me that. Okay, I got it.
I have Digi, so I can smoke up soon.
Yeah, smoke up and you can keep diging them.
4 seconds. 4
I
seconds.
highly doubt they have a digi.
Yeah, I'm with you.
4 seconds in smoke.
I don't know.
Look for it, Jordan.
Nothing on us right now. I don't think
Okay, I'm locking up. Yeah, they fucked off. They're scared.
They could be above. Is
Yeah,
this
above. Two.
Okay. That's fine. There's nobody in the other nut. There's nobody.
White and blue, by the way.
Okay. They're scared. They have no fucking loot.
All right, so whoever was upstairs left. They just dipset. They're actually doing a listening with TSM right now. It's funny.
I have no more nades. Could someone give me an arc?
Here.
I don't have
any.
So it looks like it was Snipe Down and company. We have Snipe Down, don't we? Yeah.
It's, no.
So FaZe is the one that's right next to TSM.
That evac is still there.
That's cat team. They may have hit third beacon, and we might get really lucky.
Did you shoot at him?
Yeah, I shot at one. He knows that recovery.
Alright, we're probably gonna have to kill them. We need to make sure our back's clear first, Mamba. Can you stay with me? Bo, come up here. We're gonna clear our back.
So
first.
Bo's gonna have Bo and company here for native. They're either gonna have to move forward where they know they got a team sitting, or they need to rotate and go the opposite way. But they don't have much time before Ring 3 is gonna start closing here in about a minute. Oxygen tilling, 2 purples with a blue.
They kind of have no choice but to fight us. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah, 50 seconds. Doors open. They're just looking for.
It might, honestly.
Bro, Howl's a new like
one bat
gaming
myself.
studio is
We
lit,
have a good
bro.
rotation no matter what. We always long.
Is there a way we could shoot across to the other height? The other nut? I'm looking at it.
You need to
They're
be
not
knocking,
there.
but you won't be able to like full kill him.
I'm gonna come with you.
Next to us.
I don't see them up there. The tight team keeps smoking.
Optic out in 19.
Prowler? Be careful having someone walking up on your bottom floor.
Yeah, I'm looking hard looking this way. I'll know if they come.
Playing top 4 right now. I don't see anyone in this other nut.
They are there. I literally saw the conduit in there.
Okay.
And there's a cat queue.
Hold on.
I'm dead.
Native's trying to push their way through. Oh, Native's about to die.
All three here.
Oh, bro.
They're shooting at the other team. They're fighting. Chill, Bo, chill.
Bro, what a spot. Oh, he's been seen. Damn. That's unfortunate.
Broke your door, second floor.
Okay, I'll reinforce it.
Native out in 17th.
Listen for a Q, because I'm playing top 4 right now.
Thank you, love.
The flat line here if you want to drop
So
it.
TSM has FaZe next to them and E8 pushing up towards their building.
Let me know if you think I should like play out there, and not outside, but I can smoke out the door and play Digi.
Cracked. We cannot get cracked by this team.
They're planning to do something. They're literally all three just sitting there.
If we get horizon on, shoot the fucking horizon on.
Yeah, 13% on all.
Right.
When I smoke, I'm smoking us. I'm gonna smoke us when I smoke.
Alright.
So just like walk in front of it. You just gotta walk in front of it.
No, we just gotta hope Shuby goes big, Zach. We gotta play out the smoke and play aggressive. And Shuby plays smoke.
We're gonna get thirded no matter what from behind if we fuck up. So no, do not smoke us. Smoke the enemy.
All right. Don't smoke, and then we go play this spot. No.
Yeah, that works too.
The team smoked here. There might be.
All right, they're chilling. Never mind.
We can play this corner.
Now TSM's gonna have to figure out how they're gonna rotate up out of here.
Just look over us the whole time.
No, we're safe in that. We're safe there on that rock. We have to get to that rock with catwall.
Yeah.
We play there. I'm pretty sure we have to play there.
I gotta look how I got a wall.
I'll look bottom. The bank smoking, they might push.
I'm watching.
Yeah.
I cracked one across from us.
Okay.
Oxygen out in 15th.
You're staying on the catwall, Evan?
Yeah, I'm just gonna wall on the right here. The height's gonna be able to shoot us though.
I'm just gonna smoke in front of us when we do that.
You know, Swede doesn't.
Dangle the other nut?
No.
Yeah, you
Stream game days.
I can't smoke height, bro.
You have to just smoke and head of
us.
like smoke on top of the rock so it could like give us elevation. You know?
We should kill this Zach. Did you?
I am.
Yeah, you just get the thirst and get out.
He is?
I'm not fighting.
We can't.
I killed two.
Oh my god. It's all you, bro.
Get out.
I'm stunned, bro.
Yes.
I killed two.
Alright,
we need to finish that. We have 20 seconds.
We need to
You're
pull that.
Where?
You're right.
Go left. Just go. I'm sending. Full sending. On me. I'm red.
Head on. Smoke.
No smoke. I'm watching wall side.
Damn, they just took out EEC.
I'm healing. Careful,
we need
be
to
right.
go back up. I don't think there was anyone above us. I think our spot was free, guys.
Oh, we got a suite right here.
Okay.
They're getting low looted.
I have no bats.
Yes. I have one bat, bro. I have no heal.
Scrap. DarkZero going to swing, and DarkZero going to take down Temper. Great shots coming in from Zero, and Sykes alongside Jim Burton is terrifying enough, and if they're being directed in a way that Zero has shown he can, DarkZero are going to be back in a force this season for sure. And I think out of all the teams, probably the one with the biggest chip on their back as FaZe, they start to get pushed.
So E8 and FaZe are going to end up fighting. TSM should be able to clean this up.
Has managed to escape for a few seconds though, and it was E8 who made that push.
Yeah, EA make the push onto FaZe, but TSM have escaped all the meanwhile, and FaZe will now
Here they come pushing in.
Position. 8 squads remain. Now also
E8's going to be taking another fight too.
Here, that they're getting shot in the back by DarkZero. So all these Western teams trying to scuffle with one another. All the meanwhile, TSM have escaped and have found positioning.
TSM just managed to get ahead of the traffic here. 8 Gan eliminated. You can also see Elevate have gone down, so 6 squads now remaining. And we have Oblivion, DarkZero, Complexity, ALGS and TSM who are involved in our final fights.
Yeah, so TSM.
Bucket chat. Who do we think? TSM or LG?
I'm just playing back at the spot. I'm anchoring hard back here.
Should we not play down here and hold out our south side? Because no one can come from above us.
I know. We have to.
Got a kill right here.
Looking.
I got it. I can't see him. You gotta run a wall.
No way.
What up, Briggs?
So's on me. A full team on us.
Damn.
Play me.
Who's just pushing him here?
1v1. One guy here.
Wait.
Just kill this guy.
You just got a shield swap. Nice.
Why are we going for the loot? We said there was
because they were ratting.
So DarkZero out.
I think is this team 30? I think it's a duo.
That's fine. We can get these kills when these guys fucking cross. We cross and we walk in and play the side of the wall. Okay? Yep. This team's already shooting at somebody on low ground. The team that's on the top of the box is a Watson dog shit team. We're gonna smoke them after we kill these guys crossing, okay? I'm moving down to the rock. They're smoking. Yep, it's a full 3. That is a full 3 man. I'm bang ulting them. Okay. I'm shooting 2 smokes down the hill. Get ready to slide down to my smokes. Play the close side of the wall and turn left. We gotta fight left, okay? Fight left.
Bro, I love listening to Sweet Call.
Let's show.
They're there on the left. Behind us. Cracked one. They're gonna be all coming in on gas line. Get ready to farm them.
I'm gonna hard smoke this. They're gonna come up.
Peeking. Another bangle. Wait, they're gonna get cooked by the other team's bangle. This way. Good call. Break.
We need a wall, Slayer. We need a wall.
Follow us now.
Good wall.
Got it. Play on me.
Last one. Dead. I'm shot in the left. Get on my knock.
Last one.
No, bro. What is that wall? Oh my god.
Will be done and dusted, and now we have a 2v3, I believe, to see if Complexity can pull something out of the bag here. It's Lou and Monsoon.
Oblivion?
And Oblivion should be able to get this done. The damage is there.
Oblivion? The PLQ team? Taking home game number 1?
Oblivion made sure that they send everyone else into an Oblivion there. They had that high ground, they had the positioning, and it worked so effectively. And I love that they pushed on to LG. They could have allowed LG to reside there and shot with them and picked up KP, but they knew that that was the scariest 3v3 they would have to take. They had the opportunity to take down as many teams as they could and kind of take down as many players as they could, and they put themselves in the best position to win the game.
Yeah, very, very strong position, of course, they had for the majority of that game. It's a very difficult zone to try and access and think about winning if you're not the team who's there early, unless you want to take that fight. But as we know, that's a risk in itself. Some very notable teams inside of those final moments there, Dan, and a lot of teams who had good prio to that zone as well.
What was that wall?
We did. DarkZero had a really smart rotate, though, into that zone. You thought for a few seconds that maybe they could eke out
My mother could play a better wall than that.
To go alongside it, and you would expect them to be up there at the end.
Yeah, I think there was a few teams who thought maybe they could have got a little bit further, but then suddenly a fight started occurring. We had a few teams inting, perhaps because they realized they were in a poor position on the map, because everyone fighting uphill, right? You don't want to be in that final circle, walking uphill and just getting shot aimlessly by whoever has eyes on you. So you try.
I just want to point out,
you try and send it into
that zone ended exactly where I called early on.
Situations for us to get stuck in there. Excuse me.
Yeah, it certainly was a fun one to watch, and good to see how teams navigate.
Special teams, special plays, special players.
Fight their way into the north. The one thing about that hill is you do have some rock formations to allow you to kind of bunker down a little bit, but we saw it from TSM, right? They thought that they could overextend, look over a team in a fight that was going down in the distance. Didn't realize that DarkZero were there just around that corner, and their game, which they probably thought were just looking for a few extra KP before we continue our rotate towards zone, ends up being ended because of the fight they had to take.
Yeah, and then we saw just at the end, I mean, even though TSM may have cleaned up that damage, there's always another team. There's always a potential for another team to be ratting away, and it was Complexity as a 2, just surviving long enough.
What, those are your like top 3 for the year? Is that what you're saying, Moon?
Down to 1 in that final 5. I think they'll be very happy about it.
Yeah, very good performance from Complexity, but it's Oblivion, probably the one name who we didn't talk about in the pre-show, understandably so, with all due respect, that come out on top and pretty much make us talk about them, make a name for themselves. We'll take a look at the results after the break, but it is time for us to jump away for a few moments before match number 2.
I was thinking TSG's in Group C, so they're not playing today. If that's what you're talking about. Does it stay healthy? They really have Vex Gaming in this when Vex closed their doors? Losers! That's Hackus. %40 worse. It's too easy, chap. It's too easy, chap. That's Yuki. It's too easy, chap.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the ALGS. Game 2 upon us in just a moment. Rain Day, Gaskin on the mic for this one. However, let's talk a little bit, rehash what happened in Game 1, Dan. We have some time. It wasn't necessarily what we expected. LG was in the mix. Even TSM was in the mix. DarkZero as well. They ended up cannibalizing each other. And, you know, the win doesn't always go towards some of the bigger expected names, but maybe the most deserving, for sure, in terms of playing that final circle.
Yeah, I think that when you get a circle like that is so heavily northern based, you have to tip your hat to the teams who dropped on the southern side and where they were able to finish. And Oblivion dropping at Cascade Falls, I mean, credit to them. They were able to rotate in a way where they found themselves right on that northern tip above everyone in the end. And I think they'll be delighted with where they were able to position themselves. There'll be a few teams, I think, a little bit frustrated with their Game 1 performance, but sometimes it is just ironing out the kinks a little bit in your first match. And then you see what goes wrong and just making sure you correct it for match number 2.
Yeah, Blink, Arcology, Akimbo, all winners in our first game. Sometimes points, though, don't necessarily go that way. We're going to have to see how they did in terms of kills, and obviously their placement will give them 12, but we'll have our standings ready in just a moment. We're still waiting on that. Big differences that you've seen so far in EMEA. I mean, we were kind of questioning. We saw some Bloodhounds in EMEA. We saw in terms of pacing as well, way more content to, you know, rush at teams, take advantages in scrims. When you get into this pro league environment, things slow down a little bit.
How many conduits do we see?
People put their jackets
on. It didn't feel like we saw as many as we've been seeing in the EMEA, right?
Not just wasting energy unless they know it's going to be a guaranteed result turned back to them. So Dan, any noticing of the pace changes or anything different from our first games in EMEA?
Not seeing as much conduits, that's for sure. Plenty of Horizon and Bang, almost the entire lobby throwing themselves on Horizon and Bang because we know how important both those legends are. And a slight bit more of aggression, I would say, here in North America. People are pushing fights a lot quicker. We saw in
I don't think the ego allows for people to play too passive.
Even if they hadn't lost a player, they were kind of backing off. They were trying to make a different rotation, which then forced them into another team. Whereas a lot of these NA squads seem to be committed to their rotations, saying, all right, look, this is where we're going. We either die on this hill or not, and it makes for some very interesting viewing because we're getting some really good skirmishes.
Well, we should have match results coming up in just a moment from our last match. You're right on all those things, Dan. I mean, sometimes you have a different adoption of the meta.
So Oblivion, relatively quiet game with only 4 kills.
The start of the season, clearly, it's going to be back and forth for many
TSM, a pretty solid game, having gone out in 5th with 6 kills.
Total points, 4 kills.
Same thing for DarkZero.
Complexity right behind them.
GKS, you could even say the same thing, going out in 10th, but had 7 of them things.
Skirt, 12 points, 5 kills.
Skirt!
Replacement points. LG and TSM right behind. Good showings from them, and even DarkZero, only 1 point separated from TSM. Pretty interesting as well with GKS. I want to just focus on our top 10 performers here, Dan. What stands out to you? I mean, so far, this is kind of what I expected in terms of big names performing right out the gate.
Yeah, I think that a lot of Apex is down to your IGL and who knows where to be positioning yourselves when you've got these circles and making the best of a bad situation at time with your rotations and where that circle pulls away. And you look at that top 10 and some of the biggest and best IGLs that we have in Apex Legends, but that doesn't mean they're the only ones that are doing the work. You have to rely on your fraggers in the team. That's why we're seeing such a big influx of controller players being picked up by teams who want that one player to be able to get them out of a sticky situation. Your Verhos, for example, your Zinus, teams that can have players just thrown into the mix to deal that damage and force those.
All right, getting ready for game 2, chat. We don't have an updated scoreboard yet on Liquidpedia
from that match number 1.
So that means I don't have our updated scoreboard command in chat just quite yet.
Today, something to talk about as well, leaving that squad.
Sometimes the NA one, it takes a second game for them to kind of be on top of it.
Around why, what that moment meant for them. If you were in the building at Champs and you were there before and after Finals Day, you saw 2 different versions of Zero. And after Finals Day, maybe a version I hadn't seen. So upset at that result. Obviously, hoping Sykes and them can get job done so far. So far, pretty decent result in Game 1. Stormpoint will be where we head to Game 2, and Game 3 we'll switch it up to World's Edge as per usual for our final 3 games of the 6. But I want to talk more about Stormpoint. You could see the difference in height, Dan. One of the things in Season 19 Ignite that the developers intentionally did was try to bring in some of the space and limit those moments where high ground made as big of a difference. We know it's still a part of the map, but there were some new additions changed and added to Stormpoint, and that's kind of changed a little bit of the flow and given players some landing options. So kind of walk me through what has been the most significant change for you from Storm Point that we've seen added in Season 19?
I think that it was something that happened during EMEA. It was some of these, not just the POIs, but extra little bits and bobs in the geometry added where you can kind of take a little bit of respite when you're making your rotation. Somewhere that you can land there where you're not just forced into a fight and forced to be in the open as much. And you're right, height is still everything, and rotating from south to north is still difficult, but that's why we're seeing so many horizons here to try and negate that ever so slightly. And the fact the overall map size was just reduced a little bit just to try and speed things up every now and then. We saw that loot pools were changed, certainly in both the southern and northern sides. We saw different loot pool changes. I think ultimately north teams still come out on top with what changed, but it has made things a little bit better for those teams who are rotating from the southern side. Certainly coastal areas have been really a focus point. I mean, we saw some fights happening in North Pad and a contest happening at North Pad here in NA. That's because it's such a good area to drop for your rotations, because it gives you so much flexibility to where you want to move, but you're also able to play edge there. So I'm excited to see how things develop as we move on, whether certain teams will feel like certain POIs are even stronger now, but for me, it's still about those northern sides.
I always find it so interesting having a chance. We've developed a relationship in our team with the developers and some of the map designers. We had a chance to have them out to championships, and we're doing more of those calls. But just in my experience, how maps are adjusted, and they have very intricate knowledge of where fights take place at almost every single turn, kind of like a heat map, higher heat signatures, higher fights. And they did do some very specific work on some of those hard rotations in Storm Point to make things more defensible. The Forbidden Zone, a great example of that. If you go over into the Season 19 patch notes, you can actually see buildings.
Looks like we had a restart chat.
Constructed so that teams, even though they are rotating through what was a dangerous area, now with none of the prowlers that would have bothered you in there, and even if you do get caught in a fight, you have more ways to make a stand and not lose your ground and be caught out left hanging in that type of situation. So in overall, I think improving, player feedback and gameplay, but also I think for fans at home and learning this map, a lot that you could take from in terms of, hey, you know what? I have been dying a lot in the Forbidden Zone beforehand. I realize that maybe that is a different way that I want to approach some of these matches. A lot of these things mirror, the games that viewers at home can play and some of the things that they can learn from picking up pro play as well, Dan. So always good to get that information, take a break. We are getting this lobby loaded up again as well, which is why we are having a little bit of a chat here, but it's always good to take some time, Dan. I guess this also opens up some of the meta conversation. I had kind of hinted at it earlier on. We've seen a little bit of the conduits, but to me, when you look at Conduit, when you look at Horizon, when you look at Bangalore, I mean, all of these legends have had an impact this season. Who in your eyes have been maybe the most important legend, or maybe the most fundamental legend that we might be seeing over the course of these next few weeks?
I think it's situational. I think the biggest difference, of course, has been a new edition of Conduit and how that's changed early game fights, how it's changed late game fights at time with not only her zoning ability, but also being able to shield your team at the right time to really get yourself over the line and maybe have that surprise factor against certain squads where they're chasing you, they think they've got you down to one shot, and then suddenly you're essentially full shields again, and you can just turn on them and wipe them in that fight. But ultimately, it's got to be Bangalore and Horizon as the two staples, especially on Storm Point. The smokes to be able to cross have always been so important on Storm Point, with there being little coverage at times, and then Horizon to negate some of that high ground that you have to try and go up against other teams. But then we're starting to see other inclusions. I mean, we know that Cattle is still so important as well to be able to get that Dark Veil down to help you with rotations. We saw a lot of Watson going down in EMEA. Less Watson here today, that has to be said. Maybe we'll see more on World's Edge for North America, but all these different legends have so many different ways of trying to approach the game, and I think that's what I love, is we see teams playstyle sometimes just by legend composition, but by adding new legends who do different abilities, it always shakes things up a little bit, and Conduit's done just that, because not only does it elongate the fights, which makes it harder for some of these teams that are contesting, but also the teams who are near those contests can now benefit from it, because either they choose to just move around those teams and have an easier rotate, or they can third party and then benefit from that as well.
10 seconds, that makes all the difference. You know, we saw even in EMEA, Thermite that just delayed the entrance into fighting someone, ended up hurting a rotation of Orglis and Hungry, and they ended up losing a couple members that made it very difficult to ultimately come in first place. There's only a few points at the end of the day. You know, a character that got some changes as
come
well,
on,
that is
man. We
very
just want to
good
get in
at
the game.
adjusting the way the landscape is played is Catalyst. She had some changes in this recent patch that were intended to bring her back in line. It doesn't seem like it's had much of an impact in terms of taking her away from the meta, but Dan, I think it's good to see just that there's some parity that the developers are continuing to eye on to make sure that no one character ever has too much of a day in the spotlight, kind of like we've seen over past years with Seers and Gibraltars and things like that that have really dominated metas for years.
Bring back the Gibby meta.
Had a time where Catalyst was almost at a 90% pick rate at one point, especially the fact that they've now kind of changed the throw range. I mean, decrease that by 50% is massive.
It's
You're
huge.
able to kind of throw that goo out and just really grief teams who are trying to arrive. Instead, she's a far more kind of passive legend at times, but still very, very important.
Game number
Now,
2,
we
chat.
are live, Rende. We're getting into the
Let's
next
get
game.
it.
Yeah, baby.
Everyone has sorted things out, and we're into the dropship.
All right, always fun to take advantage of the time where, you know, they're spending some quality time getting to know each other, talk about things as competitors often do when they're not competing in the dropship. And now, as they fall from the sky and land in their designated areas that they've worked out beforehand, it's all business, baby. We'll see if there's another amazing performance from Oblivion back-to-backs. That would be a surprise. We've seen it before in North American days where an unsuspecting team not only wins once, but twice. We'll see if they just got the rhythm.
All right, Drop-In
early
Gaming.
Engagement from Drop-In Gaming, though. Jayon, Crook, and Stunny. Stunny with the Massive and the Conduit. Already that damage taken away, but it will slowly add 60 shield health over time. So as you can see, Stunny has worked it back in. And so it's essentially still a white shield. Not too much lost, not too much gained here from Drop-In.
And I think this contest says a lot about Devastated Coast and Coastal Camp from these teams, that they are happier to contest here at Echo rather than playing either of those POIs, which are currently free. This is just asserting dominance in the early stages here in Pro League, I think. Saying, look, we've been doing it in scrims, but now let's make sure we win these in match 1, in week 1, so then we can start to solidify this as our drop spot. Let's make them blink first and then retreat to a arguably
Yeah, it's
worse
definitely
POI.
intriguing.
Do you think that this is a mistake in
So I
some
feel like
ways
Devastated
that
Coast
can only be done when you have the casuality of scrims as your reference point? Because
We've already
I don't know, if
seen
you lose 2 of
it's
these
a
in a row,
decent
you
amount
are
of,
not
like,
looking
endgame.
forward to the
Kinda
third
like
one.
back
It's
in
not
Fish Farm
worth it
days.
if there are 2 POIs to the left and the right of you, even with worse loot, to just get 0 points across an entire map set in a day like this. We'll have to wait and see. And maybe at the end of the day, they'll just delay each other and kind of 50-50 this as best they can. It doesn't really help either team, Dan, but that seems to be at least the way things have gone for now as we transition over to another part of the map. A huge fight still engaging. We've got Zero Tricky as well, the new face.
Middle floor, trying to finish me. He's weaker.
Let's take this fight here. Let's actually jump on board with FaZe. FaZe is going to be able to take down Temper. Nice.
Oh my god, triple take goes so fucking huge right
That one, but I mean, answer to your question, contests are a really difficult one. They always seem like a bad idea, but you've also got to remember that
I
because
think
we're
their
in round
chemistry
robin,
will go
essentially,
together
where you play
well.
every group,
Zero,
if you
Tricky,
can-
and
if you can
Panders
keep
along
the
with
same POI, it's
Snipe.
always going to benefit you across those match days, but if you're changing back and forth, it could hurt you. As we speak of another contest that's happening over towards Northpad, it's Eternal going down at the moment. Only 2 players that are alive, but Carter trying to get this res off.
So valuable to have the Conduit queue already
All right,
ticking
bringing
up.
out
Did
the
not have to hit 2
Peacekeeper.
shield cells, which would have taken a ton of time. Could have obviously gone for the heal, decided not to, and it's going to play around the knockdown shields, the Horizon, Gravity Loop. Carter's not missing any of those.
Yo,
PK
Carter just
shots, and
pooped on
that's
him, dog.
simply what determined this fight.
So well played by Carter as well. The knockdown shield being faced as high up
Well
as
done.
possible, and then just
Alright,
crouching
not to
underneath
panic or
it,
nothing.
letting the other player use their bullets, wait for that reload, and then you re-engage with that PK, which can hit hard. And it is going to be Eternal who win their battle at Northpad. So we've got 3 contests happening on the map at Storm Point, but as I said, it could benefit you in the long run with a contest. It always looks silly when it's happening.
Is E8 in a fight as well?
It's not even down.
Yeah, there's one.
Is there someone to take
There
it?
could be a team there.
No. GKS down here at Barometer. Also looks like we might be seeing a end zone that ends just a little north of Barometer. This actually might be one of those ones that ends actually at these buildings that they're at now, or even like these two, like right around here.
That's fine. I thought they were up here first anyway.
Yeah, we'll kill him later.
Horizon och nades vi insecure makulakna. Once
See who else we got. If we got anybody around. Looks like Oxygen just took out Native. That's unfortunate.
Meanwhile, in the center of zone, playing the opposite style is Optic Gaming, holding it down. They've got the squad to do so. Catalyst will still be fine with their passive, being able to barricade those.
So are they just under GKS then? Is that the deal?
Instead of 2, traditionally, and also with the 2 piercing spikes, she'll be able to deploy. Dropped in Skittle Cakes, and specifically Skittle, really one of the best callers of where the zone will end. He prides himself on this, has ever since we've seen him enter into this league. And so if I was somebody who's betting, I'd say they have a pretty decent idea of where this is going to go.
And I mean, you compare this to previous seasons, we have 8 teams who are outside of the circle right now. Remember how zone heavy ALGS was for a short while? There is definitely teams who prefer playing Edge now, and in scrims, arguably, Edge has had a little bit more success at times. So that's why teams are going to be a little bit more comfortable at moving in late, circle moving a little bit faster, just moving in with it and picking up on teams who are kind of stuck in a sandwich at times, and then slowly moving your way up, taking position after position. And
yeah, I mean, I feel like to an extent, if you get to zone early, if you don't get a really solid spot, you just eventually get pinched out, right?
And their compositions usually will show that as well. But we're seeing a lot of Bangalore, Horizon, Catalyst. That seems to be the most popular composition here in North America.
It's like 2 different types of students, right? You've got the genius who doesn't have to study and somehow aces the test every single time. To me, that looks like a TSM. You never know what they're going to do, but somehow they find a way to come out on top. And then you've got kind of the valedictorian type, the ones who do all the research. They do all the prep. They're always first and ready to take it, and probably first to finish as well. And to me, that's more of the Optic style. Tried, true, consistent. We know what we're going to get from them, and it's usually something very, very successful. 2 different styles, 2 different outcomes potentially here as this game continues. The zone about to close in with round 1.
Nothing.
We're fine. We might actually
No doors open or
low-key, like right up on that hill and wait for a team to run up behind us.
What, like right here?
Purple here. Yeah, we just crouch on those rocks and wait for a team to run up and explode 1 and 3v2.
Do we want to crouch our armors instead of playing the gate?
No.
The only thing is playing the gates, we're just going to get rolled up.
There's another gold mag down here.
I don't know why, but when Sweet talks about ratting, it just is hilarious to me.
Hold back.
Checkpoint already left.
Just because you know when people find out that it's Sweet 30 get pissed, you know what I mean?
Team on the right. Phoenix in.
Grabbing these cells up here.
Across the building.
Temporary time there. LG are going to be playing that gatekeeping style once more, but over towards Barometer, teams are just trying to do what they can to stay alive. DNO, who were part of that early contest that we were watching down towards Echo, have been able to find some room to play here on the southern side.
That's a good sign.
Snipe. We had Chaotic, Sweet, Boski.
They should be okay for now, but they're on everyone's radar.
How?
Threading the needle, by the way, have found themselves almost center zone at the moment, really picking their time perfectly. You wait for the commotion to happen, and when it does, you can fly through the air, sometimes unnoticed. Optic eliminated. GKS 2, but at least able to put down some good damage as a squad at the moment, just to make themselves big. But there are plenty of
I don't understand why that takes that out.
DarkZero, who are close. Elsewhere, look at all the teams here on the southern side.
Yeah.
LG, Ape, FaZe, Flat, they're all here fighting.
Yeah, Panders and Zerturkey again gonna have to do work. Snipe down is down already. In fact, he cannot be picked up. This time has to deliver to the banner, to the beacon. And so it just may not be enough for them to sustain fully. They want to get the KP. That's going to be 1, could be a 2nd. And now they're going to get the res. This was chaos, and you can see it continuing. LG a part of that as well, and they're moving in just at the wrong time for FaZe. On the other side of your map, we're not watching it yet, but just to keep an eye, TSM, Elevate, and Oxygen Esports are about to have to do the very same thing on the other side. But right now, LG, They're the star of the show. Let's listen in and see how they handle it.
All right, let's get it.
I'm
holding for you. I'm
probably most likely going to literally hit the fucking can.
Can I make it? Can I make it?
Yes, you can make it.
Okay.
We're safe on this wall right now. We're safe on this wall. We have full control of this little hill right here, guys. We probably are just gonna play close side island, okay? On my yellow.
Yes.
We're probably gonna play. We're gonna walk in super late. We're gonna wall one direction. Play the other side of the wall. Shoot behind us. Shoot these fuckers. They're all gonna come down bottom doing pre-arcing in front of them.
Come on. 30. Crack. 60 flush. 60 flush. 60 flush. One. He's literally one. So I think we play for these kills.
I do. Just keep walking. We're gonna go to cannon.
On the cannon. close. On our cannon.
We just play the wall.
They died. Go cannon.
Wall left.
Nice.
Get to the cannon and wall left. Get to the cannon and wall left. Get to the low walls. Yep.
Cut the rock off.
Wall.
No, batting. Alright, that's actually not
Wall's
bad.
fine.
On the left,
Get to the right side.
It's a solo, I'm pretty sure.
There's no one here.
Just show, I'm nading this.
I'm closing the gap.
I don't think that's a solo, is it?
Play the right. Get to the right.
Bro.
It is most definitely not a solo. That is not what they wanted.
Yeah, comms. Just give me comms. Let me know what you see, okay? Let me know if you see knocked.
They ran into oblivion in both senses of the word. Sweet, the only one alive. Arcology Akimbo holding down the central space. DarkZero and LG, the other two teams there.
Damn.
TSM has made their way to the southern side, though, Dan, too. And they have found a little bit of space on the outskirts, but it is tight in the bushes. And you can say, who has your eye on maybe the best spot here?
TSM certainly in a good spot, but lack of coverage. I mean, you look at this final circle, by the way, so much open area as DarkZero also able to take out Oblivion. DarkZero going to be approaching from the west. You've got Oxygen, who have a little bit of room to play with on the northern side, and then TSM on the southern. Those are the three teams that want to keep an eye on. LG just a rat. Sweet's done very...
What do we think? E8 or DZ?
Okay, I'll watch out for it right now. We need playable too.
Ulti kill.
Give me.
Does Jen need it for wall?
Yes.
Okay, you take it then.
Get a wall.
Get wall, yeah.
I want to say, one bat.
Let's see how DZ can push in here.
Yeah, I'm dropping bats. They're fighting duck. Listen. Two teams fighting duck. The solo. That's a lot of solo.
Looking.
24. Hey, listen, two teams nuts. That's solo and the water team is it. That's the entire team game.
Yeah. I can wall over.
The water team walled already.
Yep.
So they've realized where all four other teams are.
You don't need to wall early. Might not even need it.
They can just walk their way in here now. They know that they got a solo up the hill to the left.
I can wall towards that. Ish. I'm soon ish. Yeah. We dodge Mango? On me? No.
It's safe back here. You can back up to me.
Coming, they're up. Are they pushing us? No, they're not. I got fucked. Back running. Yeah, do a wall soon. Do a wall on the right side. Alright, start time. Look left. We can get him second here. Easy. Left. Shoot left. You cover right, Kraber.
Crack, weak.
I gotta chill.
3 squads.
They should be fine here. Team's pushing down the nut building. One down. Oxygen Esports out. That was the solo.
I'm on Jen.
I think it's a 3v3 here, right? Should be DZ versus E8. Conduit ult comes out. DZ's about to win this.
Fight this.
Oh, Sykes loses this. E8 wins.
Oh, nice try. Great fucking game.
Wait, no, TSM wins. What?
I'm using that.
Good fucking shit.
Wall installed.
Get fucked.
I said wall install so many times.
Wow.
How are you?
I actually never heard it. I swear I've never heard you say it.
I swear.
Bro, I'm pretty sure they changed that shit right there, by the way. I'm sure that was not like collapsed.
It used to be a wall.
Cause I didn't know that was like on the ground now, because that could.
Impressive indeed. And TSM back on top, and now we have our teams who are in first and second place. DarkZero just ahead of TSM in the overall standings, may I add, but a big win for TSM.
Well, DarkZero made, I think, a much bigger showing of their mid game there and their early late game, because they had several fights that went their favor. They got a lot of extra KP there, and they kind of demanded the zone's attention for quite a while. So other teams really forced the fight themselves. No one was trying to push them within that center spot of the zone. But once it pulled a little bit where they knew they had to move, I think TSM were super smart to just keep that. And there's a little bit of luck to that too, Dan. I mean, easily you could have seen DarkZero turn their attention towards where TSM were, shoot through the smoke, know there's a team there, but it just ended up being all the fighting happening near the Dragon Ball on the left side was too attractive for them. And I think they thought easy KP. If we win that as a 3, we have great zone position for the final fight wherever that team is. And ultimately,
what a game for both TSM and DarkZero. Holy shnikes.
The most points overall here, 21. TSM with the actual victory and maybe the moral victory, or the emotional victory against DC. But Oxygen Esports, Elevate Gaming, and LG round out your top 5 with a shout out to Oblivion, who again have a pretty solid game too.
Yeah, I think if you were to go back and watch the rotations of TSM, DarkZero, and LG, all very interesting in their own way, but all brilliant IGLs showing why they have, the achievements under their belt.
So I feel like game 2 will probably be one we'll want to put
interesting decisions made, but also
in the video.
That were very important to keep their team alive at the right time. And then a final 3v3 like that, I mean, we'd love to see those engagements happening time and time again when you get straight 3v3s. Sure, DarkZero taking a little bit of damage, but they still did have an opportunity in that final engagement. As for other squads, plenty of points picked up by the top 10, but there were also the ones who struggled in the early game, whether it was down to losing an early contest or just getting peeled off by other squads holding their rotation. The bottom 10 looks this way.
One of the interesting elements of a BR, and especially this type of format, is you could take some losses in a way that feel like, wow, we didn't get the win, but when you look at the points, you look at the overall value, DarkZero has to keep the mentality that we had a great game there, even though they lost not only the team that they were fighting for in terms of LAN championships last year, but the team that is, I think, their spiritual rival here in terms of winning the entire thing this year again. And so yes, that might be an ego blow, but still, you got the job done. Head focused on where you're going, Dan. And in terms of average placements, in terms of kills,
so we're looking at their first game here.
Damage, DarkZero edging out the tally on that.
But we just got to know game 2. All right, we're just gonna have to stick to the main broadcast. Chat, my internet's having issues, so I think it's having more hard time keeping up when we have the multi-stream open, which is kind of unfortunate, but what you gonna do about a bad ISP? Who do I think is a favorite to win today? Always hard to count out TSM. I think especially because TSM realizes that in their group where they are with meat lovers and they're going to be contesting on both maps, I think that they realize that groups A versus B, like, they really have to perform. So I wouldn't be surprised to see TSM continuing to do what they're doing so far, and really showing up and showing out. Feel like LG should be a team that we'll see towards the end of the day still be at the top, and also the scoreboard. Wikipedia isn't staying up to date. So this is what we're looking at right now, huh?
Welcome back, everybody. The ALGS is starting to harp here in North America, and surprise, surprise.
But yeah, so far, I mean, TSM and DZ kind of running away with things, Riggs.
The story is going to be one we tell all season, Dan. DarkZero going up against TSM in that final fight. It's DarkZero who come out of the game with more.
But again, I think TSM understands how important
maybe a moral victory in the final
Group A versus B is going to be for them getting to land.
There's always a chance of bonus points if you can get victories on the board. Remember, there could be one extra point if we see TSM get 4 victories.
Because in groups,
we see it, it's unlikely. Very often we don't see 4 victories for a squad. But these are the series results.
A versus C, when we have TSM and meat lovers in the same lobby together.
30 points. TSM just won 29, so it's very closely contested at the top 2. But after that, Oblivion still featuring in the top 3 on 24. But then it's all to play for from there below. Mark, anyone can jump into the top 10, and all it takes is one good game.
It does indeed. A little bit of a surprise. Of course, we're only 2 games in. See, Optic Gaming struggling a little bit. It was a pretty rough zone for them to get into a game.
Yeah, DarkZero, TSM. I mean, I feel like LG obviously still has the potential, but
a little bit closer to home. Phase with us.
I would love to see Native bounce back after having a rough first 2 games, but I don't know, man. Time's already starting to run thin if you're in that bottom 10, you know?
We have the mini-map. We see the pre-game lobby. Let me tell you, there's a little bit of back and forth. And I've got to give a shout out to Zainu because he was saying that Sykes would have won that previously. And, you know, we all know the story there. This is what happened, though, of course. TSM with a win in game number 2. Oblivion with the win in game number 1. And now we hit into our final map here on Storm Point before we change over to World's Edge.
So the last chance for teams to show maybe their performance on their better map. We do have some teams that are slightly better on Storm Point than World's Edge, certainly from scrim statistics anyway, but we won't really talk about true stats until we start to get into the thick of it with match play, because it's going to be very different with people taking a lot less risks. But we have our contest that we are still seeing, and it's FaZe versus Temper up at the wall.
Yeah, and it's going to be 1-1 at the moment as far as Nox have gone down at the start. Zero Tricky's on his back. Pandas and Snipe down. Still alive, though, and taking the high ground. But can they deny this reg?
All right, so we're just going to be tuning in with the main broadcast the rest of the night, chat. See if that helps us with our intermittent disconnecting issues.
Spade's very low on health at the moment. YoBoyCue is available though for Cloaked, and they all dive out. There comes the Q, but great damage. There is Eric Rona at his very best.
It's the bait though. It's the bait. They send one player out to fly across. There was one player still on height, and that is what makes the difference. It is
what a play.
Coming in from FaZe. There's still one player who's trying to have a look at this though, and it's Secret Formula.
No, it's just a third team. Yep.
Yeah, Secret Formula, who have avoided the contest that was happening that they were involved in over towards Northpad, and they've relocated to try and third party another contest that's going down. That's so frustrating for FaZe after making such a good play that you were talking about, all for it to be wiped away by Secret Formula here, who have changed their drop.
I mean, you're completely right in what you say. I mean, Pandas is probably thinking right now, really? Really? We just made such a good play on contest. We just really earned our right to loot up and get into this game and work our way towards end zone, and instead we're thinking about just surviving for now. Pandas does have a little bit of double time on his side with the Bangalore, but you can see that he's being chased and chased hard. They want to get this kill. They want FaZe out the lobby, and Pandas is probably thinking, hey, can I just have a minute to myself? There's no way he didn't see him.
Oh.
I just thought I wanted to be quiet for him there. I didn't even want to let out a breath as he hoped that they would walk by. Now,
all right, DNO and DIG, they've been in their contest.
Facing this fight against
let that Mozambique slap cheeks.
With the Mozambique.
I love the Mozambique on contest, by the way. I just feel like it's one of those guns, if you can find it, you pick it up because it does so much damage. And dropping gaming look like they've had, I would say, certainly the better side of this contest in our first 3 games here on Storm Point. They seem to just be constantly outputting damage, and you can see it from the shields as well. Mostly of the time they're coming out of that contest with blues, and that usually is a pretty good indication. But again, they have to be careful of any third parties arriving. Here is your map, though. Now the, shall we say, the early fisticuffs is done and dusted and everybody is on the map, this is where we're going to be going. It's looking pretty central, maybe down towards Barometer again. Nope,
also, as much as it's frustrating for FaZe, but you've got to give your hat off, or take your hat off to Secret Formula. They were losing the battle at Northpad, so they dropped just slightly east, and it allowed them to loot up in the building and then join the fight that was happening at the wall. It was a well-strategized plan, albeit an annoying one for FaZe. Now, Circle, we're going to be heading west over towards the areas of Milton Station. Native are going to be dead center to that as we take a little look on Complexity and their rotation.
Yeah, Complexity, who had a very good game number 1, of course. A little bit of a quiet game number 2, but you can't win them all. And we get our first look at the Buster Sword. By the way, the greatest heirloom ever. I don't care what anyone says. I'm the biggest Final Fantasy VII stan you'll ever find.
Facts.
And yeah, the Buster Sword is great. It should do 700 damage. Oh, I want it in comp.
Uh-oh, DarkZero. That's a lot of damage that they've taken.
That was 700 damage.
Even a Buster Sword won't save you there, yeah. But they've been able to at least get out of the Trident.
Combined material.
Oh, Native pushing in?
Anyway, enough of my nerdiness. Native Gaming. They're the ones
come on, Native. Let's get some points on the board.
Who are in first place at the moment, be able to survive.
That's a frustrating one for them as well. And they're going to have to move off as a 2. But of course, they do have the conduit available so they can craft those banners, but it's about getting to a crafter and it's about being able to get the res off. It's not an easy thing to do with so many squads making their move. Very different when you're playing in ranked and teams will go down a lot earlier and you're able to just get those resurrections off a lot more comfortably. Now, Dropping Gaming, after having that early contest, they are going to be moving very quickly, or as quick as possible, away from PLP, who are now looking to see if they can pick up any of the stragglers, knowing that that contest had happened.
Going to hit the evac here. It looks like they want to be really aggressive on this, and that's exactly what they are going to do. They are chasing this down. They are running it down. And you mentioned how in your rank games, certain things don't happen. Well, this does happen in your rank games. If you're a 3-stacking pro teams, you find a team, you evac on them, and you cause them problems.
Yeah, definitely. And just try and take advantage of what's presented in front of you, really. If you can pick up extra KP somewhere,
Chat,
and you
I'm
can
so
grief
sorry,
the team
man,
ever
for
so
being
slightly
low
on
on
your
energy,
rotation,
yo.
then go for it as long as you have a backup plan.
The long
and
weekend
it's
of
not your own
Apex.
rotation too much.
We're Dropping Gaming survive for
We're gonna have
now.
to figure out how we're doing next weekend with RLCS too.
Piece of the hunt being popped here as well, but they have given up the high ground for a few moments. And the longer that this fight goes on, as we always know, it's a bigger chance for a third party to come. But there's nobody in the vicinity at the moment. And I tell you what, PLP, if you want an example of a team looking like they're confident to take a fight, this is it. They are chasing them. They are running it down. They want these KP.
I mean, they should be confident with a team like this, right? This is a fighting squad through and through, and they are going to be more than happy in any 3v3 engagement.
So I guess
output that this squad offers is incredible.
I guess Respawn didn't like them having the team name League of Legends, huh?
Really put on a full charge at the moment. You can see how desperate they are to try and take ground, though, and try and get closer so they can initiate this fight.
Yeah, you can't do that in our league, actually.
This is the equivalent of like going outside of a nightclub and there's that one guy who's trying to fight everyone, and everyone's like, dude, just leave it. You know what I mean? Just leave it.
Let him go.
Yeah, PLP, they're the guys who are just throwing hands at everyone. But this is a fight that's going to go on for quite some time, and the zone has decided, hey, can we just move away? Like, follow me, guys. And that's what they're going to have to do. Dropping Gaming survive for now, but now the problem is if they want to take this fight, they're going to have to take zone damage on their way towards where PLP are going to be. Elsewhere, we look at Oxygen Esports, who have been very quiet so far. They're taking on TSM, and it's not going well for them.
That's one way to put it. Oxygen Esports eliminated, 16 squads remain, and TSM will be able to hold this area, but there are other squads shooting them from a distance here, but I don't think anyone's able to close that gap for now. 2 minutes until the zone closes, so TSM don't have to move as fast as perhaps they thought they would have if that fight had gone on for too long, but they need a game plan to move from this position.
It's interesting, I saw Verholst's game attack there was in all caps, and I misread it as TSM Van Verholst, and I thought he'd become like a Dutch striker, you know what I mean, like one of those old school Dutch strikers, but instead, it's just, it's Evan, and I misread it because...
All these people, were those people who thought this was going to end Barometer?
Or maybe his name's
and
Evan,
didn't read that right? Or what's up here?
Gaming still alive, by the way, in zone. DarkZero, interestingly, as the two are moving towards Coastal Camp, right at the bottom of your screen.
Elevate's going to be in a good spot, though.
Trying to get a teammate Jim Burton back into the game, and they might be caught off guard here and put in a little situation. Turn and run, boys. Turn and run.
Yipe, 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 yipe.
You run into the one Bloodhound team. That's always...
We've been scanned.
Slapping your
run.
And saying, of all teams to run into, it's someone running a blooming Bloodhound. And again, the Trident is going to mean they're taking a lot of damage here as DarkZero just do what they can to try and survive. Sykes says, you know what, screw it, let's just keep going.
Who's driving here? Because I want them to have a breathalyzer. They are all over the place, but they get the job done. They survive for now, but what are their meds looking like? Because you would have thought they would have played for the economy of being able to get that res, maybe crafting a few med kits over down on the southern side of Coastal Camp and then getting back into the game. But now they're in zone, and now they're probably thinking, hey, it's plan B. We might have to play this one out as a duo.
So Flat are in a pretty good spot at the moment as well. They can hold down this position for quite some time. And having the rock behind you just means that you have that like extra little bit of security that you're not going to necessarily get pushed from that angle. They just have to be careful of the northern side. And they could certainly grief a few teams that are arriving late, but speaking of arriving late, sneaky.
Oh dear. This is not going to go well for someone. However, they don't get that initial knock, but now it has to be a full send coming in here from LG. That is a brilliant ult, but it gets destroyed immediately. And now the damage isn't done, and Funk has to back up a Slayer, importantly, vitally.
PLP in a fight. Get out with PLP.
Big
Yeah,
nades from LG there, bouncing off of the black hole and making sure the nades go in afterwards. So even if the team destroys the black hole, they would have been a little bit stationary putting those shots out onto the black hole, so they'll still be vulnerable to those.
Imagine if they had gotten picked up by FaZe instead. No, FaZe sweet.
Give them an extra little bit of cover. They clean up the rest of the kills, but are they going to be able to survive here? Because there are still teams who are doing damage from a distance. LG just need to reset.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a rough spot though, because you can see they're being shot from Pylon, they're being, excuse me, it's shot from Ceto Station, they're being shot from the teams who are inside a mill at the moment, Optic Gaming and Elevate, and they're kind of, when that Dark Veil goes, they have to make a decision. They have to make a play. Will they slow
I had a suspicion that's where he was going to go. I did not. Of the three like last minute team announcements between DSG, LG, and FaZe, FaZe was the only one I got wrong.
Just a banner.
He's more than just a banner.
The FaZe one makes no sense to me.
It's a pretty scary banner to be holding if you can get hold of it and bring it back into the map. I tell you that for sure. But it's going to be a difficult journey for them as PLP now having a little.
The LG one solely made sense if for people who like have paid attention to what LG's been building here recently, while a lot of orgs are downsizing, they've kind of been expanding.
This kill feed's about to be lit up ever so slightly.
And it's mostly been based around like competitors who have good content and brands.
It's one of those three-way fights that you don't want to be the first team to take a knock. You want to just try and play a corner, output damage, force one team into the other, and that's what GKS are trying to do here in this corner. Sorcerer with that scout has almost got the perfect weapon to do so.
Sweet, kind of checks all the boxes of most of the like competitors they've been signing lately.
It really can chunk you down, but at least they've got smokes just to stay alive, and they're a little bit worried, I think, about the teams arriving from the east side, so that's why they're playing this one very slow. Plenty of teams still in this lobby that can cause you an issue as the zone continues to pull west, which is even worse news really for these teams at Jurassic, who are going to have to move as far possible across the map to go there.
This fight is continuing to go down, and now you're going to see
Liquipedia still has not updated. It's a big old rips.
You peek, I teach. Very, very simple for Chaotic. He gets taken down by the R9 of Phony.
Now they're trying to find the rest of the squad. Behind the box will be player number 2, but good crossfire that's happening at the moment just to try and cover the angles, but not good enough to help the teammate. And PLP is still healthy, still well, and will get the knocks and the finishes onto those players. So PLP doing very well just to time that push accordingly and make sure they take advantage of one player being slightly out of position.
GKS with one alive. Sleepy Panda is trying to find a place to maybe just reset and maybe thinking about ratting, but I've been impressed by PLP, I have to say, with their fighting. You just see that natural kind of baiting and switching, and a lot of that comes from communication, right? Not only is it about hitting the shots, it's about preserving your shields in those fights, taking a little bit of damage but outputting more than you take, and then switching with that teammate in those 3v3 scenarios allows you to do so. But Awaken is just taking down Phony, and now the plan has to change.
Oh, now they're in trouble.
And PLP recognize
Phony's all the way down.
Yeah, Skirt came in for the third party. PLP whilst they were kind of still looting after that fight, and now they might not even be able to take this evac tower because another team going to be in front of them here, and you know how vulnerable you are when you are moving up that balloon. So Zine, you having to drop off, and PLP now in a sticky situation.
Thinking about crossing maybe. Frex is still alive, but only for a few seconds. The zone is going to take him down as well as the bullets coming in, and Skirt will win that fight. But now they have to rotate in behind where we saw Zainu trying to put that evac tower down. DarkZero is still alive, by the way, and Jet Burn is no longer a banner. He's back on the field.
Damn, DarkZero back to a full 3.
A lot of problems is DarkZero are trying to just force Oblivion off of this spot at the moment. But remember, the solo of GKS is arriving behind DarkZero, so they just have to be aware of that and make sure that the solo doesn't ruin their day. But they have DigiThreat to work with, and of course Zero on the bang means he can coordinate where those smokes are going to go and where the pushes are going to be. I do like an IGL being on bang, by the way. It does allow for certain plays to be made that are called, as DarkZero will spot out the last member of Oblivion, and then they quickly turn around and find the solo rat that I was talking about from GKS. A secret formula also full.
I mean, it's amazing stuff from DarkZero, making sure they clear this side of zone. They still got some work to do, though, as they try and keep...
Yeah, team over to their right, too. Looks like they're keeping an eye on them.
Back in the game, and somehow escaped from a situation where you thought they were going to get run down as they rotated into zone. And we do have a listening with DarkZero. Let's see how they try and plan this next move.
I have 2 cells, that's it. Yeah, I have cover.
I dropped a fuck ton. Drop more.
Alright, looks like drop-in gaming. Currently going down to LG.
Any more now?
I have
6. 57, 50.
I'm killing you.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. You have Cowl, no?
I have Cowl. I can do it. I can do it. I can angle and we just fight him.
Maybe we can do it with swipes. Maybe we can do it with swipes.
We have to wall it. We just fucking run this team over.
Yep,
Let's go.
let's get him, boys. Alright, Digi, I'm gonna smoke the end.
I don't have to do.
There's a bit of a gap. You gotta go into my smoke.
Arc side.
Get left side first, so you safe from the teams. They might have run. Lane there?
They're just pushing all the way around. Is there anybody still in the IMC or no?
We do have to go again.
No, remember.
Wall. Get nice.
Go on the wall. There's an triple Optic cell. Get all the stuff, please.
Yeah, I'm getting it. I got one of them.
No, we don't have enough.
They got all triple Optic cells. Golly.
Well, plan one of the rotate was pretty good. They forced the team away, but you heard Zero say that's essentially part one. We still have to do this again. DarkZero with a low barrel might have been blessed with some Optic cells, but can they get the wall back in time?
Yeah, there's a lot of stages to a rotation. You might have got the initial phase done, but then you start after thinking about phase 2 and how you're then going to lead the charge and lead the rest of the team. Now, LG, who had a very interesting rotation in the previous game, have also
LG have a decent game going for them right now. Was that 6-team KP?
Into the zone, but they have cleared the majority of their backs. Depending on what happens in the fight between TSM and Eternal, which is going down here.
Well, it's going to be Reps who gets that first knock. Elsewhere, Optic Gaming were eliminated as well, so their slow start here on Storm Point continues. They'll be looking forward to getting off this map and getting back onto World's Edge, but TSM now make their move forward. There's a couple of
TSM's got a full squad in front of them here. Oh no, it's just the other two of Eternal.
Onto those in front of him, he just ran them over.
The comfort pick of the Hemlock as well, being in the crafter, means that Verhos is more than happy. Said, if we find a crafter, I've got the gun that I'm most comfortable with and confident with, and you can see why. Is now DarkZero.
Native Rambo going to be the one taking down DZ.
Sykes and Zero are quite low here, but they
oh, maybe not. Maybe not.
He can bring to this DarkZero roster. One thing he doesn't want to bring is a grenade and a death box. Well, Zero's got enough shields back and should be able to buy enough time for Sykes to at least get back into this fight. A 2v2 still breaking out. It's Elevate versus DarkZero. The wall is going to go down here from Zach Mazer, but can they take advantage here? They got the Prowler, they got a Digi, they've got everything they need, but they decide to rotate away from this.
So Native just got caught between those two teams and has now allowed DarkZero to reset. They're back up. They're just like a phoenix from the ashes every single time. When you think they're down, they are back in the game, and they will now hold this southern side. They are going to have a slightly uncomfortable rotation into this next circle with other teams having eyes on them, but if you can trust anyone to call a play, it's going to be Zero here.
Yeah, the question is, do they have the wall available? Because we've seen them using a lot of utility to even get into this spot. The great news, though, for TSM is they completely and utterly own where that zone is going to be ending. They rotate, and then right there against
E8's got the high ground. They
just opened up everyone else to have to.
They're going to get their teammate back.
The closest team, you would say, but Complexity is shooting them in the side, so TSM should be able to get some damage. But look at this. Again, the brilliance of the rotate. They know there's a team up on the God Rock here, DarkZero, but they've got a walk-in now. They have forced their way towards that zone, and maybe they're looking for KP instead.
Well, they forced the Bango out as well, and then they repositioned.
All right, so Shuby's back in for E8.
You're back in the game.
TSM's going to have everybody looking at him right now.
Going to be a threat on this map as now LG are making their way uphill as TSM have got eyes on them.
God, I want to be able to listen to this right now.
LG, TSM with the ultimate high ground right now, and as you said, prime position to potentially win this game.
It sounds silly as well. The bins might be the best thing for them, though, because I'm not talking about the gameplay. I'm talking about how it's denying the LOS.
I was having too many issues with internet, bro. I'm literally down to just watching
taking a little bit of zone damage, but look at them, Dan. They're still in
the
this
main
fight, and I
broadcast.
Tell you what, if DarkZero can come out on top in this game, it would be an absolute masterclass in navigating here on Storm Point coming out from Zero.
And I will correct myself, I did say Ultimate High Ground. They're just the furthest north team, which usually is Ultimate High Ground, but Elevate, they have this rock to play off at the moment. Now, the circle, the final circle is...
Maybe we'll try again after this game, setting it up in between.
Closer to Elevate, Ape, and DarkZero than TSM.
But we got bumped offline like 3 times.
Now, that can go one of 2 ways, Mark. Sometimes it can be good to be the only team because the other teams focus on each other, but there's always the possibility that everyone looks at you when that zone closes. So TSM need to be thinking about this one, how they position themselves to get as close to the circle without taking too much damage, and this giant rock that Hal's found could be a blessing for them.
Yeah, it could be really, really good for them as well. And you can also see that they do have the Horizon ultimate available as well. You would imagine from the time that's elapsed as well, since they took that last fight, they will have every single piece of utility, like the Dark Veil to go down as well, to maybe split this zone in half. But Shuby's got a wingman, and we know this care package weapon is pretty much as strong as you could imagine, and with some smokes and a digi on it, he can cause TSM problems.
I like this. They're a drop down to the left. Dark Veil comes out as well for them to try and rotate. EA's going to be able to wipe out. Who was that? That was the fourth team left. Regardless, now that's EA, DZ, and TSM. DZ and TSM left again, bro. What the fuck?
It does indeed. One team who were eliminated, though, the solo player from Aim Gang is out. So it's a straight 3v3 between E8, DarkZero, and TSM. Three of the biggest hitters and three of the form teams, you would say.
So E8 and DZ going to fight for third, which is going to give this over to TSM for the dub.
Simple task for TSM.
Because ALGS is scripted. Smiles.
Damage done, and now it's just a case of walking to victory, surely for TSM. But no! The fight has turned on its head here. Shuby's still alive, but no. TSM will manage to close it out just for a second. You thought Elevate might be able to pull something out of the bag, but no. TSM back to back as we finish our games on Storm Point.
There's always that heart-in-mouth moment when you see a knock happen and you wonder, could it be the turnaround? But yeah, TSM going back-to-back, and now I joked about bonus points and winning 4 games, but they're halfway there, our TSM, and it could prove to be very
You mean like question if he's still like a top IGL? Is that what you mean, Moon?
TSM knew exactly where they wanted to play. They are the best team in the world. We know that, and they are proving why they are the best team in the world at the moment, still dominating here in Pro League.
I think the scary thing for me is how comfortable they're looking in their team fights at the moment. Every time we've gone to their POV so far, you know, Oxygen, a fantastic squad, right? But just got absolutely decimated in the first team fight that we saw them in.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question, right?
Eternal, and it didn't even look close. You know, the amount of damage that was coming out of the Hemlock of Verhulst.
Because
like he said, like, that gun is still incredibly strong. If you can take the time to craft it, you should be taking the time to craft it.
If you were to remove Hal
I mean, the job was made pretty simple.
and remove Zero,
pretty simple.
Who's a better IGL than Sweet right now?
DarkZero and E8 were going to have their line of sight clash, and
in the last
just had to clean up the pieces.
year and a half.
Go down, but it never really felt like they weren't going to win that one. And with 12 kills alongside it, it's a 24-point bomb coming in from the 2023 ALGS Championship champions.
And you always wonder when you go from a world championship into a new season, is the best team in the world going to skip a beat? Is meta changes going to affect them? Is new legends going to affect how they approach the game? And TSM still performing
like, just because they ain't Jordan
meta
or LeBron doesn't mean they're not a great player. You know what I mean?
I'm sure TSM fans will be.
I don't know if it's anything about like what Sweet is missing. I mean, he's still playing, like, his team is still relatively consistent.
How impressive it was that DarkZero even got to that point. They had their backs against the wall for the majority of the game.
Like, even if you look at last year, I don't think there's a team other than TSM that's more consistent than him. I don't even know if you can say DarkZero's more consistent because the third land they don't go to finals.
As well, 16 points for them, and I mentioned in the pre-show that this is a team to watch because
why hasn't anyone that's been IGL'd other than a team by Zero or Hal won a land?
Some great positions and creates a great team, and Elevate is showing really good signs of that. 16 points for them. 8GAM managed to wrap their way into some placement points as well. Complexity was some decent. LG with some good KP, but in that end game just got cut down on the cross. And
yes, and is very much usually considered out of the debate because he has not been able to win a land.
It's not too many zeros. Teams still able to pick up KP and pushing their fights when they are available to them. Temper and FaZe, after having that initial contest, sadly for FaZe, even despite the fact they won it, they were pushed by Secret Formula, who had moved from their initial contest to take another one and take a third party off of FaZe. So unfortunately, FaZe won't have a chance to respond to that here in this match week because we're going to move to.
You act like we've had 7 different land winners or some shit.
What's going down?
We've literally had 2 different IGLs win
TSM
ALGS lands.
To IGL towards success. When you look at the videotape, my goodness, I had a chance to watch the first game that we were casting, seeing TSM win against
because they're that fucking good.
On that final 2 fight, the same way they walked up on the final 2 fight right here, they are just putting themselves in positions to win. And of course, you guys gave us your thoughts on it in game. Mark, Dan, I want to bring in AJ Hawk, who's joining us now yet again. It's been a minute, Jay. You know, we had a chance to talk to you in EMEA. Now it's North America. You've been familiar with all these regions, but this region is star-studded. How are you feeling? And for everyone as well who maybe didn't see your EMEA broadcast, catch us up with what's going on in your life.
Yeah, so I work a full-time job, but I'm actually going part-time to commit more time to Apex content. So that's super exciting. And living up to the excitement is North America. That first game was wild. I got to jump around from different streams. PLP with Phony, their comms were going crazy. TSM, DarkZero, so many great teams. And that game was
And again, like this is still a relatively newer, like composed roster for LG.
And the play calls, understandably, I'm going to say from Zero and How, because they've been two teams who have been involved. These guys do what they do.
Yeah, I mean, they're the best in the world for a reason. A clash of the titans, if you will, in back-to-back games there. They're showing why they're the best, and they're going to continue to show it throughout the splits. It's not surprising. We've seen them do this for years, so to see them continue to do it in day one, I mean, everybody knew this was coming.
Yeah, seeing the differences between EMEA and NA has been clear as well, certainly composition-wise. Is there anything that you really picked up on in differences, Jayhawk?
I did think that, I mean, we talked about this during the EMEA broadcast. The teams that had that direct priority were often controlling the games. The teams who were nearby wherever the end game zone was, they were getting to those power positions and they were holding them.
If Nathan's so cracked, why did he not get picked up by anybody else?
South side of the map,
and is instead of sub
games in a row where they don't have priority, they're having to play.
Let that strudel in your noodle for a second.
I mean, obviously they're the best team in the world for a reason, so we're not surprised they're doing it. But it is different from EMEA, where based on where the circle pulled, you could kind of tell who was going to win that game.
Well, speaking of circles, I mean, we have some final circles here to look at as well, Jayhawk, just as we did in EMEA. I mean, you said match one was exciting and you were bouncing around. I mean, what did you see between all the streams?
Yeah, this game was wild because I thought immediately we were going to get the Clash of the Titans. TSM, DZ, LG, Elevate, all these teams were looking like they were going to get to the end, but they don't. LG gets eliminated here, and we have a final three of Skirt,
Ask him that.
Oblivion. And I loved it because these are three teams that have something to prove. Complexity with a roster change. Skirt is a unison of multiple different players from other teams, and Oblivion coming from the PSQs. It was a really great end game, and I loved that to start off North America, some teams that people have had questions about sort of answer those questions immediately. Now, can they continue to do it throughout the day? That's the big question mark.
I mean, obviously game one gave us a hint that maybe Oblivion are going to be rotating well. They practice their storm quite enough. Game two certainly gave us that information as well. As we kind of see it close out here, you thought maybe Sweet would get his first win. No, Arcology, Oblivion, Complexity, they would be in the mix, and they grabbed this one. But I want to talk to you about something I noticed and see if you've kind of picked up on this as well. For me, there's a timing thing to being in the right spot. We saw in game two, Optic, they were positioned extremely well inside, near Barometer, and they were kind of in zone early. But the teams that seem to have
I have sometimes wondered if
the TSMs, the DZs, who got there a little later, and I'm just
IGLing all the way down to the the micro the way he does if it's too much.
And maybe a little bit too early.
And doesn't allow players to feel comfortable being the best version of them, and instead feeling like they have to be Sweet's version of them.
Almost the entire game, waiting for Circle to come right in front of them. But everybody knows that you're there. You've been a target in people's minds for so long that all of a sudden, when TSM and DZ just come in, you're having to readjust to this newfound information, and that adjustment sometimes doesn't come out quick enough. And when you're going against the best teams in the world, they capitalize on that brief hesitation.
It's kind of a weird thing, but it's the old idea of everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. Doing the punching in terms of Apex terms really does allow you to be the one, I think, maybe with the step forward. This one, though, interesting. Do you think DZ and EA just decided, hey, best we can play for a second here, or was this just the nature of how these catalyst walls set up?
I think realistically, based on the positions that TSM had, they had the most cover, so naturally the other two teams are just going to duke it out and see what happens.
Yep.
But I do want to shout out E8 here because we've been singing the praises of TSM and DZ. E8 has been dominating in scrims, and the question was, can they continue it in Pro League matches?
And EA's looked good.
They're doing it right now. They're looking fantastic. In that game 2, they finished in 4th with 9 points. Here they get 16 in this game. They're living up to those expectations that they were setting for themselves in scrims.
And here are our final points. As you mentioned, TSM DarkZero elevate. They go step and step in terms of not just their gameplay in that final zone, but in terms of the points. Our top 3 teams, Oblivion with a good first and second round that's netted them 25, and LG always going to be a threat when you have someone like Sweet guiding you towards the end game. But taking a look at this entire roster, A versus B, Jayhawk, since we have you here, what's maybe the biggest story you're looking at now for the second half, our next transition into our last 3 games on World's Edge?
Well, I'm looking at Optic Gaming all the way down in 17th with 6 points, and I'm wondering, where are they? This is a team that dominated in that finals lobby at Champs, and they have not quite shown up yet, but I'm not going to give up. This isn't a team that goes down easy.
Ironic that Optic wouldn't re-sign their coach. Now all of a sudden that magic's gone. Thoughts?
I just can't see a world in which Optic is finishing 17th on the day.
Mark, I'm going to lead it to you as well. Any thoughts on what we need to see in this next half of these games for these squads?
Yeah, I mean, I want to echo that because I think Optic have been so quiet in those first 3 games. It's almost a surprise to see them there. It always is a surprise to see them down there. But the teams at the top are the ones we expect to be there. And like I mentioned, me and Jayhawk seem to be thinking the same thing at the moment, because I was thinking about Elevate and what they've been doing in the build-up to this. Could they produce it here in round number 1? Well, they're doing it so far, but we're only halfway through. That's the crazy thing, right? It's very easy to take your foot off the gas, thinking that you're having a great day, that everything's going your way, but then the map changes, then the rotates change, then the contest change.
Bro, do we have a fucking scoreboard on Wikipedia yet?
Concentrating on the job ahead and not kind of patting yourself on the back.
No?
Here for Elevate, but I'm excited to see what they can do on World's Edge too.
Shit.
So, AJ Hawk, before we let you go, I kind of wanted to give you a chance to do what you do. I mean, you're going, part-time, so it's going to be more of these videos hopefully heading out. Every video starts with, what story do I want to tell? Over the course of today, we've kind of titled it The Great Reset on our end, in terms of teams looking to see what they can do, shift the tiles, shift the puzzle pieces to have a chance at competing with the big names. How would you craft this story? What would the title of this video be in your eyes, and what can people expect who are watching the next few games?
Well, so far, as we've seen with TSM and DarkZero continuing to dominate, a lot of people are expecting at some point someone else has to win a LAN, right? But if you look at the story from these 2 teams' POVs, they don't want to go down. They don't want to be the team that finally falls off and somebody else takes the throne.
Yeah.
And so, as much as we want to tell other stories and talk about the other teams, it still remains to be seen.
New year, same story.
Do it as right
TSM
now,
versus DarkZero.
Trying, but even they are not able to overcome TSM and DarkZero to start off NA Pro League.
Amazing stuff. It's really maybe who's going to elevate to that spot, you could say as well.
Hey.
Amazing stuff, Jayhawk. Thank you so much for being with us and hanging out on our halftimes. It's always fun. Make sure you are following AJ Hawk on all of his socials, his YouTube channel, fantastic videos. And I think, do you stream, Jayhawk, as well? You got a stream?
I do. I'm actually doing watch parties right now, so come on over if you want to.
All right, check them out. And hey, thanks again, man. We'll see you on future broadcasts, I'm sure, and definitely around the ALGS. AJ Hawk.
It's a big old cup.
Thank you so much.
Holy shit, that's a lot of water.
Challenger circuit as well for those who want to
My
get
boy
involved.
thirsty.
Maybe you don't want to analyze like AJ Hawk, but maybe you still want to see if you've got the skills. I mean, it's video games, no matter what age, you can pick up a controller, you can pick up a mouse and keyboard and try it out with your buddies. We've had some amazing stories in the past with the Challenger circuit, and registration for February 3rd through 5th, Circuit 1, closes in just 10 days. So if you had an inkling, an itch, I don't know, just a thought, why not try it? I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Maybe you end up making something special occur. Anyways, wanted to give you guys that information. Dan, take a break. You've been casting. You've been here this entire first half. Mark and I are going to get into the second half of games. And I guess to lead into that, Mark, I want to talk to you about what does this mean here now that we're in World's Edge.
All right, World's Edge, baby.
We may see are some composition adjustments. I think we've gotten teams a little more used to that. I know TSM for sure adds the conduit to their roster when they don't play it on Storm Point. But what else does this mean for you map-wise? We've looked at this shift so much. I mean, at the very least, last 3 games of the set, you got to make things happen, especially if you're in the bottom 10.
I mean, I think it depends
what if Timmy is his Timmy is Sweet, Reps Halv Gen Burton. No, I think DSG is fine with who they got.
As far as the TSM conduit is going, I don't think we'll see it right now because they're not contested on Siphon. So I think you might see possibly a fuse. We saw a little bit of fuse yesterday coming back into the equation. Should I say the day before? We'll have to see. You know, we'll see what they pull out of the bag. You know that Ravens certainly got the whiteboard going in the calculations on what is going to be the best play, but we'll have to see, right? I think we're still going to see Catalyst. We're still going to see Bangalore. We're still going to see Horizon. Question is, are we going to see any scan legends?
What, like back when he was on NRG?
Be effective in those tunnels that kind of link a few of these POIs. So I'll be interested to see if Bloodhound does pop up once again.
An EMEA special. We'll see if North America tries to take it and put their own spin on it, as we see FaZe, Sarah Tricky, Panders, and Snipe down with the Conduit, Bangalore, and Catalyst heading over towards Geyser. One of those POIs that's rather central, gives you some access to a lot of different rotation types. Not everyone's favorite all the time, I would say, and you know, we do.
Remember the fucking E8.
Yeah. LG's in a contest with Skirt.
They're going south.
Over here at Fissure.
Okay. Yeah, they're just gonna dip. I have a good loot.
Come on, cut to the roof of the 2-star.
Yeah, well, I need a scope.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
I'm looting north. I'm looting north.
I mean, that's
Looks like they're gonna split ways and loot and boot first over here at Fissure.
I don't think so. I think going left's faster on that one.
I don't see them fucking anywhere. Lucky Phil in a rap play.
They're probably ratting beacon.
Yeah, this.
They can grab a little bit of loot and continue on their way. Elsewhere, you can see
Eternal and Complexity in a contest as well.
Two teams, because there's some punches being thrown here. Complexity are going to be one of those teams, and of course we have another team in front of them who's trying to take away the long-term POI here of Cole.
Lou, we know how gifted from a mechanical aspect this player is. Kimchi Lee helps support what was already
Complexity could low-key have a really nice team as well this year.
Push forward and they get 3 kills. That's a nice start for Complexity. As we switch gears, early fighting as well is something that we'll see probably more so as this day goes on. Teams maybe get a little bit more desperate, and you know, in some ways we'll see teams possibly give up, but it's always a risk to go ahead and challenge. You never really know, and especially game 4. So
looks like we're getting a survey camp Skyhook-ish ending.
Up for success to have a good placement in day 1.
Probably one of those that ends like south side of survey camp,
having a little fun
over towards like the way into Skyhook.
Ship as we get
like up on this hill.
What are we seeing?
Well, it's important the Complexity one that can
like right here.
The zone is going towards where they are basing themselves at the moment in that train tunnel. Native Gaming, they're in a really good spot as well. PLP, of course, they're going to be moving in, and this is a zone where you want to control that northern side, right? If you can get into a position, maybe hold down the northern side of that tunnel. If it pulls all the way north, you're going to have the least line of sight onto you, being able to play in that little crevice that Complexity are maybe looking to move into now. Everyone working around survey camp, though, it looks like he could pull that way, but we do see the pull back towards Skyhook sometimes. So it's an interesting zone. I kind of want to see where the traffic goes, where everyone hedges their bet a little bit here, because it's one of those can go either way, and there doesn't seem to be a clear kind of defining a definition of that zone and where it's going to be pulling.
Yeah, and it
But why would you contest DZ?
I mean, I think clear to a lot of these pros where the circle is ultimately going to end. So you may see some teams try to move a little quicker just to get into those zones, feeling a little bit more confident into where it might be. But at the same way, we've seen a lot of teams showing up late in those final circles have the better end of it. Phony can't quite decide if he wants to stick into that.
Yeah, but DZ ain't gonna leave that easy, and DZ's gonna clap their cheeks. So again, why would you contest DZ?
Long range pressure with PLP, Arcology, and Oblivion taking the trailer to the other side of them. Native as well holding the trailer opposite. So very congested in this camp.
Yeah, looks everyone wants to be in survey camp at the moment by the looks of things. FaZe, we mentioned how they decided not to hard contest, just split the loot and continue on their path. TSM are already making their way.
That conduit's still dead, is what I'm saying.
I hit her 80 flush.
How many cells do you have, Bo?
I have 7.
Drop me 4.
Come on, Native.
I have 1.
Yeah.
Let's get something going here, man.
Got 1.
Game 4.
Right here, look. I missed. You guys looting.
Shit on.
Wait, I closed the door, I didn't know you were out there.
You're good.
I'm gonna get a different angle.
I have 1.
Amping shields. Reloading.
Looting the box again. Purple armor.
Meeting up. Wait, train. The team train.
Yeah, it's.
Then bar.
Can you show me your armor?
It's a survey zone.
Yeah.
We can play the front half of tunnel. You need to come towards me now. We can't let this team get in front of us to tower. There's actually a lot of loot still here.
I don't look these ones.
Okay, you can loot top 3 floors. You should loot top 3 floors. Somebody. I'll look.
Oh, you talking about Slayer and Funk?
Actually, holy fuck.
Okay, come with me now.
Slayer's a newer kid.
Smoke them off and then walk to the front.
Funk was on Meat Lovers.
Wait, flex. We don't have to.
But yeah, both relatively new.
Slide in like a motherfucker.
Okay. Someone's getting shot. Skyhook. They're shooting Skyhook from tunnel.
What's that?
Wait, you on the peek through?
I think so.
On the left.
Peek left. Top. 40. Yeah, show me. I got 100. You can smoke. Wait, is that coming on the left side? Right side?
Oh, I heard it all right.
I'm scanning, man. Go on right.
Please come through.
Those aren't competitive maps that we tend to see. Everyone knows in Apex you can get into a bad spot, not really know where to turn. However, comparing that to what Stormpoint can do in terms of getting caught out, you can be caught out so badly on
Poor
Stormpoint
tech, bro.
that you might as well just walk away, throw your controller.
Oh, look
down
at that!
and
Did I call this zone or did I call this zone? I'm fucking good,
World's
bro.
Edge isn't usually like that. You can play out of it. So I'm starting to understand this Bloodhound pick a little bit more, though we're still only seeing it with about 10% of the lobby. You're getting major value, and you're kind of saying, we don't have to have good RNG. We don't have to have the best loot. Our early fight and rotation.
Yeah, you gotta feel sorry for him though, man, because he's got he's got good talent too himself. He just keeps losing his team before they can get picked up.
DarkZero with the confidence of a million teams put into one, I think they're going to be happy with saying, all right, we'll take a little risk.
That feels bad, bro.
But we are definitely going to be able to be a threat with our controller players that we lean on in these end games.
I'm interested to see that apparently when you play Rampart, the walls are not affected by gravity because those things are at an angle. That is like, that is.
She just hammers them in real hard. I mean, just
those things have got some grip. That's what I'm saying. Ape Gang are going to have this height on survey. We did see where the zone is going to be pulling though, and it is going to be pulling a little bit south and actually towards the west side. And I double checked once again with my directions to make sure they were correct this time around. Towards where, surprise, surprise, Elevate Gaming find themselves. So all these teams are in survey camp at the moment are going to find themselves having to leave, having to move. One team who is going to be safe in zone, who's kind of playing the exit of the train tunnel to the north, is going to be DarkZero as well. LG, they've taken the Vol tunnel. They're going to be safe as well. TSM though, they're the ones with the hardest rotate here of our big hitters so far in this lobby. They have to move all the way from epicenter through the traffic, down from the height, down to the low ground, the train station, to try and fight their way into zone.
just an over look at epicenter as to the positioning of TSM. Sometimes a very dangerous spot to play, but they do have a gravity lift that can get them up top. Maybe buy them a bit of respite if things go wrong. But you can't always plan to go wrong. In fact, this moment right here, there's a ton of planning because this next zone in round 2, it's going to move, but it's going to close so much due to the fact that we've pulled all the way north to this map. So every
Bang one, have to fight,
I'm on board with Elevate here. Looks like they're in a fight. I think Elevate's in a spot where, like, if they can hold this spot, they're in really good positioning for the end game.
Can you live?
This is like literally where this thing's gonna end.
I'm gonna try to get inside off your queue. Get inside, just get inside.
Yeah.
I think they might be fucked, chat.
I don't finish yet, bro. You need to get
Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe they get the reset here. Hold on. Let them cook.
You need to get that looking away. Why is no one shooting the fucking ult, bro?
Yeah, I instantly died.
You guys need to shoot the ult, because I'm throwing my horizon ult. We almost all died there. I almost died.
I can't believe we just didn't kill them.
I mean, bro, I don't know where the fuck they went. I went around, I got some by Bangle, and fucking horizon ulted.
You're opening that.
All right.
the rotations, it has to be worse for Zach Mazer and them to try to pressure because they might get poked from a third party. Otherwise, LG is pretty much in trouble. They are not in the driver's seat. You can
We don't have either of these guys on our
that is extremely important to know. Dino Gaming, 2 points only. We're in our 4th game. Duplex, Synox,
9
Crust,
view.
Impressive pros in their career so far. Together, not putting it on the board the way that they would like. Could this game be a change? They're going to have to get through this very contested choke mark. And Optic Gaming, another team who high expectations haven't really shown up today. They need to get through it as well.
They do have a great position though, Optic Gaming. They're trying to hold DNO out now, right? Well, they've managed to force them to retreat. And with a little bit of a spray coming in here from Noct as well, they're going to keep chipping away and keep trying to gatekeep them on the outside of this zone. This is a big opportunity for Optic Gaming. However, keep your eyes on the top right side of your screen. There are 19 squads still remaining here. Only one team is a duo as well. So, I mean, it's pretty ridiculous to see that amount of players still in the lobby, that amount of teams, as Zone 3 is about to close in 60 seconds time.
And it's the exact opposite of what we would see in probably a storm point south to North Pole, just because
Who's got to make a move here
it's so difficult to
that we want to listen in with?
Amount of space and that
TSM's going to have to
I hope they just
make a trek here from Epicenter.
You might have to
let's chill on board with them, chat.
To the bins, but if you don't, if you can save catwall going from icicles to bins, that's huge.
30 seconds on zone, guys. Hopping on Phoenix. I'm good.
I kind of want to see how they pull this off here,
There's
chat.
a team fucking with us like northwest, like from Epi.
Crypto drone just scouted this, by the way.
Okay.
Dropping off height.
We've got another squad on us, darlings. Recharging my shield.
Maybe we should all start walking up.
10 seconds.
Coming to you.
Team height might look to fuck.
No, because Jen Burton's kind of more their entry, isn't he?
Staring at us. Stuff.
It's fine. You're good.
I'm good. Yep.
There's a team here. They're gonna probably evac.
Whereas, like, that's why it works so well for TSM with Hal's role in playing the horizon, right?
Play on me for now.
When Hal is ready to, like, for the team to go entry or to go to height, like, he just does it.
Shoot balloon. They're right behind us.
Because he rocks the horizon.
Fuse out that. Fuse out that. Fuse out that.
Okay, I'm doing it. Looking right. Walling. In my ulti.
They're one.
Got one.
Die.
Look forward.
Just walk up. Keep the catwall. Keep the catwall for now.
We can heal right here if we have to.
Look right if we can. You might have to catwall here.
Got the wall here, I think. Team is landing on our spot. Yeah, they're landing in front of us.
Look right. Heal, Evan. Heal.
On our spot. We're fine right now. I'm taking space. 2 landed on our spot.
Okay. We're gonna just kill this. Are you ready to kill?
I'm batting. I'm not with you yet. Batting.
Wait, we can kill this too. No.
You wanna go right?
Well, yeah, I think it's because, like,
kill bins. Come. They're getting naded the fuck.
I think he is a aggressive player by instinct.
Safe on me.
Barely safe on you.
I'm dead.
I'm safe.
By the way, it wasn't safe on Cal. I don't know if you guys realize that.
I have a gold knock. The team here in the open.
Fuck!
You have to shoot back. South.
Second.
Look high here.
Yeah, I'm trying to shoot.
I'm safe on me. Play inside the bin. You can play inside the bin.
I'm nading height.
Gold res too.
He's getting it.
I'm flicking it.
We're good. We have to worry about south.
They're conning ulting you.
Wow, what a gold res, bro.
They're walking up.
They're jumping on you. Ulti them. Got weak.
Damn.
On my ult here.
I'm dead, bro. That's all you.
Damn.
Just play your life. Rat.
Yep.
He died. Cat died.
It looks like FaZe is gonna go out here as well.
Throw vert nades or some shit.
Oh, I'll hear the queue if they throw a nade.
Let's sit on board with LG.
That was mine. They're waiting to explode me right here. I have a charged rampage, bro. Like, I could actually fucking go crazy on these guys.
This is thermal.
Yep. We just gotta hold this, guys. I have bang.
They're gonna make a play on us.
If these guys run at us, our reset spot is over here on my yellow inside of the crate, okay? If these guys run at us and force this fight, we're gonna lose the game no matter what. We try to kill them, but if we can't, we get to the yellow spot.
See, Sweet reminds me of...
They're evacuating.
Let him go.
Come move.
Like an objective guy from Halo.
If these guys inside make a play, it's gonna be now.
Sweet.
No, they're not going to. If these guys inside make a play, it's gonna be sometime soon with us looking at the evac. They're all just crouching inside. I did about 75 damage in the air.
One team here.
Whereas
Careful,
Hal is
right
more
there
like
on
your
that
hard
team.
fragger.
On the wall, on the wall. Working up on you guys.
Okay.
And it's just a different
They're low
leadership
ground, they're low
style.
ground. They're walking up close.
You should come high too.
Queue us up, queue us up.
100 on conduit.
I'm gonna queue you.
Yeah, queue me behind you.
They're all in front of me on the wall. We need to kill these guys right here from the roof.
I'm gonna hold
Play the
it.
roof and look at these kids on my red ping, please.
Yeah.
Kill them right there, please.
I'm going.
I'm smoking the garage.
Look at bang, look at bang, look at bang. Watch our backs, Slayer. They might keep on our back.
Watch the fucking doorway,
I'm watching
please.
our back.
I saw the cat queues.
They're walking out.
I love how everything ends in please.
Throw another cat queue.
Throw another cat queue.
They're fighting here, sweet. They might fight here soon.
Hey, watch right fucking here,
they're running through
please.
If they fight, they're rerunning third.
Hey,
Okay?
sweet, look east, sweet, look east.
And kill these
Good
fucking
job,
bad
good
kids,
job.
please.
They wipe.
42, 100.
106 Horizon. I'm getting swung at. I have to run. Horizon died. She got bowed. She got bowed. She got bowed.
Wait, can we wipe that?
No, there's a team above them.
They're throwing birds. Slayer,
Watch
look
that.
at it, look at it.
Yeah.
We need to just force this team out to the right.
Yeah, we need to force them to the right, and then we go left. Force
Look
them.
under, sweet. Another team under, 100 on one.
They are underneath there.
Yeah, right here on my page.
I don't think Hal. I mean,
Yeah, I think we
One's on
might.
this
maybe
crate,
it's
one's on this
All
crate,
right,
one's
listen,
on the
I
left.
think we need to see a slide and kill that duo and play down there in about 10 seconds. We're gonna smoke
maybe
the
it's
garage and
a
go down
hot
there and
take,
fight
but
them,
I don't think
But they
Hal
might be
is
trying to
toxic.
race.
He's looting, he's looting.
They still
They're
went
not
off.
working. The guy's thirsted.
No, there's still one off.
Look at Bang.
He's still on sweet.
We're gonna kill him in a second.
running.
I killed him.
They're running.
We're gonna go underneath there and walk up at the zone, okay? You're gonna have to
Yeah,
wall
one
us
second.
forward, Slayer, so we can walk up on low
We're gonna
ground.
stay on
These
board with
kids are still
LG
stacked
here because they
inside.
do still
All right,
have
two now. Ready?
a bit of a rotation here. They've got a team behind them as well. They've got to figure out how they're gonna get through this.
Come to me. Play the armor swaps. Play the armor swaps. Play the armor
I think they
swaps.
already took a lot of them. I'm selling.
I agree. They are. Grab the G's if you can. Grab the G's if you can. They're above us. I'm bang ulting to our right. We need to run along the tracks and wall right.
Look left with your digi.
They're above us. They're right above us. Fight.
All right, he's opening shots.
Keep it up here. Get up.
They're right above me. I'm hitting flat.
Damn.
Kill them above you.
I clipped one.
Kill above Slayer.
Should we climb?
Yes, climb.
Back one, Slayer. Last one. Oh, man.
Wait, you didn't kill him?
No, bro.
No,
Slayer, we gotta
Slayer. When I'm saying kill them, don't. Why are you asking me to climb?
Slow.
Let's see if EA can pull this off here.
Get to me right now.
Yeah, good call.
Get spikes on our back and watch our back.
Because DarkZero's out too, right? No, they're not.
Not need to get. One's here, one's right. One's here, one's right. Two full teams.
DarkZero gonna be able to pull it off here.
No, it's a solo. It's a solo.
3v2 or
3v,
3v2, right?
You press them to die?
Or is it just a full 3 on both squads?
I don't have one.
I'm in the boxes.
No. Can we get them deal? I'm netting the box. We don't team with this.
I'm looking with you.
I hit 160. Crap! I'm saving.
Nice.
I'm getting on this rock.
Ah, that's not much damage to open up on. Good nade. Big nade.
He knocked out on me. Please help. I need armor swap.
Nice. All right, so that gets them down to a final 3v3 here. Elevate Gaming is going to be out.
Get on that fucking head now! Swinging!
Zero goes down.
2v1. Oh no, 1 to 2 up.
2v2?
You're on the head, you got height.
2v2 for DarkZero. Jen Burton's half health. DZ pulls it off. I think that has them overtake TSM in the leaderboard with 1 game left. Oh, 2 games left.
Bring back fucking scrims, dude.
Damn.
Oh my god, we fucking needed this, Jen. Holy fuck, we needed this, bro. No more fucking washed allegations. Fuck these dogs, cunt. Holy fuck, I'm so happy right now. TSM came like 11th.
Yeah, they got 11th, and I don't think they had any kills.
Holy fuck, bro.
They're ahead by 15 points now.
I love it.
Game that we just saw
I love it.
is Bloodhound being able to scan and find out where everybody is on the map, not just the circle information, and then playing away from that huge amount of congested area that was survey camp became. They gave themselves kind of, if it does go to survey camp and everyone fights, we can play from that. If it does pull away to train station, we can play for that as well. And playing that kind of 50-50 position allowed them to get ahead of traffic when it did pull away from survey and put them in a good position to essentially move in and win that game. But I'm a little bit surprised to see EA not put up more of a fight. I think there was a couple of long-range shots that came in from DarkZero that got that first knock, and then they bunched up and grenade damage was enough. But FaZe, I mean, I will say they're going to be extremely happy with that performance. I think a lot of people might have looked at this roster and thought, hey, this isn't one that jumps out on paper, but I think that there's still a for the 3 players on FaZe here. I think they're going to be a little bit going through this season, and I'm a believer. I have to say, if they can either win that contest over at Geyser or decide to get enough loot and can consistently get enough loot and leave, I think they've got it in them to put some good
Who's on FaZe? It's the old fraudulent Fury twins, Zera and Panders, and then it's Snipe Down.
Here in the ALGS, just hasn't picked up that flow recently, but this could be it. Elevate Gaming too, you're right, I was surprised, but when you look at the way that most teams are used to fighting right now, it's rare that all 3 teams have that level of the ability to fight you so clearly without digi threats on them. It can happen there, but I think there maybe was, oh man, we're fighting a Bloodhound now. This means that
Optic Gaming
to take the pace to a different level. We're not going to be able to hide at
kind of surprised to see Oxygen slacking a little bit too. Not gonna lie.
Decent game. Aiden Gang had a really strong showing, and I'm
it's still the same group. Reeds, Aiden, and
10 of our showcase in
is
game
Muffins
number
new?
4.
I don't think
Still
Muffins
teams
new. Pretty sure it's just the same
that
squad.
can easily keep performing. Oblivion maybe comes to mind. They've been very consistent over 3. Their first stud so far.
Yeah, same squad.
On World's Edge. I'm sure they will bounce back from that. PLP, I'd like to see what they've done. A 0 this time around, and obviously Complexity. They were in the mix, a top 2 finish in game 1, 13th here, but still 4 kills showing.
They have not yet gotten picked up, no sir.
In terms of their at least contests.
Yeah, the contest.
I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of low-key wondering if Furia would pick them up.
Too much to talk about. They forced their way into the top 10, but I think
and then Furia picked up.
They did have. It was the next fight where they really didn't contribute enough to force their way towards
the Watson
that
squad.
TSM had a little bit of a rough game there, a very tough rotate for them. Decided to go.
Correct. Yes, they were an excellent squad.
Epi, which was a little bit of a surprise, but also you can understand it coming down from that height. Maybe they thought it was going to pull back towards where those rocks were a little bit more, but. I mean, TSM, they're not going to win every game of Apex Legends.
Because Furia normally is like a South American org.
I mean, I just want to bring up.
You know what I mean?
TSM,
Chat, I'm gonna go use the
DarkZero,
restroom real quick. Also, I'm gonna go say goodnight to Little Man.
We see it today. It's just so much fun to watch on North America when you have 2 great fighters going at, and it really reminds me of a little bit of Messi and Ronaldo. You know, for our football fans out there, just 2 greats. People, obviously, different types of accolades at different times, but you can tell the talent is there to be able to win it all at any given moment. Talk to me just a little bit about, you know, not only just Jin Burton and Zero picking themselves back up after a disappointing finish in Champs, not what they wanted, but also how well Sykes is just meshing into this squad.
Well, first of all, I just need to say that between Messi and Ronaldo, it's completely incomparable. Messi is a far superior football player. But anyway, DarkZero, let's take a look at what they did in that game, because I think, you know, you're talking about synergy, you're talking about teams coming together, and I love the way that Sykes is playing on this team, by the way. I think that Sykes plays best as almost a secondary slayer, and I think he steps in perfectly, right? He can capitalize on damage that Jen Burton does. Jen Burton goes in, and a lot of the time he will be an instigator in fights alongside Zero, who can get a little bit of damage down, and then with the movement he has on MNK can usually get out of there, which leaves Sykes in a perfect, almost natural feeling role for him on this team, which is just to move in, clean up the damage, use that R9, that car, whatever it is that he's so proficient with in those close range fights. And it's almost as if he can take fights without pressure a lot of the time, because a lot of the work would have been done by his 2 teammates. And I think that final fight was a really good indication of what Sykes can expect to do on this team. And I think it makes DarkZero a very good looking unit, but you never know with DarkZero, you know, the next event they might not win it and then they just make a change.
I mean, exactly. I mean, I wonder too, I mean, one of the thoughts I had, and this is something that we can talk and bring up and as these weeks go by, is maybe that there's an age component as well. Maybe just the way Zero and Jin and Burton or their length or tenure together in the ALGS. Zainu coming in new, a star in his own right, but Sykes maybe a little bit more tenured, a little older, maybe something more alignment in terms of the way that this is fitting right now in terms of the goals without needing to really speak them. Obviously, everyone wants to win, but there's just different paces, different decisions. How do you practice? How do you think about the game? Maybe this is just something that meshes on a lot of different levels for DarkZero, but we will find out very, very soon if they can keep this up. TSM don't win. They don't go back to back to back. It's DarkZero's turn to claim the limelight. When we come back, 2 more games to close out day 1 of year 4. We'll see you in a sec.
Optic Gaming. I agree. I think Madness has a lot to prove, but I think Madness has the talent to do it. That's Arcane, by the way. Bro, these are too easy. Who the fuck? Kings? Kashera. Yeah. Too easy, bruv. Too easy.
Welcome back, everybody. We got 2 more games to go, and it's going to be Gaskin and myself to take you through those 2 games of World's Edge. A little bit of a change-up with DarkZero coming out on top, Dan. And I need to get your opinion. Messi or Ronaldo? Right now, let's start the Twitch chat off again. Who are you picking and why?
Messi every day of the week.
Thank you. That's all I needed. You need to give me a reason because I know you're a smart man. TSM or DarkZero? Oh, I'll wait for that one. I'm not gonna throw you under the bus that early. I'm sure there'll be some people in the chat who'll be coming after you otherwise. But what did you take away from that last game? Because it looked very impressive from DarkZero.
Yeah, I think DarkZero have clearly got a formula that works here, right? Zero has been looking to find a squad that will be able to put his plan into action, and it very much worked there in match number 4. More of the same. The consistency has been incredible from DarkZero. They're the most consistent team now after having the 4 matches with TSM falling a little bit earlier. And as we know, consistency is everything in Apex Legends. And we'll have to see whether
Mood, I'm gonna need you to help me keep an eye out for ads potentially trying to run at the end of the game.
Who's going to take this one away, though? That's the real question here. DarkZero, they get the win. We're going to see the contest potentially between Eternal and Complexity again over at Survey Camp. A couple of ArcStars going to give the indication that is going to be the case. And now I want to see what happens over here at Geyser as well, because FaZe, it was an interesting strategy that we saw last time, Dan. They kind of went for the halfway route and looted their way back. Didn't take the hard contest and decided that they think they can get enough loot from these buildings to continue their game.
Yeah, FaZe dropping in the middle, taking these kind of circular buildings, whereas Dropping Gaming dropping on the edge, and then also going into Vault a little bit to loot. Both teams leaving themselves room not only
no,
to
I don't think so,
as
man.
best as they can, but also
just whether, like, when you click on the actual tournament, if it says online or offline.
Fights going down, Complexity taking a few
but not
shots,
like when
but
you're looking at, like, the
really
list of
boosting damage of
tournaments.
Oh, I tell you what, if you watch Monsoon stream a little bit of ranked, you'll know that he loves the Sentinel. And he ain't gonna miss too many shots with it. He's got an R9 as well, but he's got to be careful because that door is causing problems. He's gonna be forced to queue, but he's not gonna connect, and he's not gonna be able to get his teammates queued now as he's had to use it.
Oh, that quick scope almost looked
Can't quite connect this time, but the R9
like it was gonna be it.
Gets the first knock as well onto Carr, and now that allows Mon to re-peek. And if he can re-peek with this and hit some shots, then it's gonna be a highlight clip for sure.
Oh!
Re-peek, reposition, and connects. Doesn't matter if it was on the kneecaps, on the toes, but you take it.
It was in the head. It was 165. Ow. It's like getting That's like getting a cast iron pan to the back of the head.
That's how much a frying pan would do.
We just bought.
Bro, look at the kill leaders right now.
That's the only reason I would ever.
6 of the top 7 from 2 teams.
Front of my mind.
Well, stakes on you.
All the top 8 from 3 teams.
You can see
That's
there
insane.
the kill leaders of the day, by the way. All 3 members of DarkZero featuring in the top. Not really surprised after their consistency so far. They have been so impressive. But the early tests... Are you still thinking about stakes?
I don't know. I never thought I'd be talking about cast iron pans on the Apex Legends Global Series. But another fight going down here with Oxygen and Secret Formula.
Yeah, Secret Formula just trying to hunker down a little bit. Watson fences go down for protection. They've also got Catalyst to barricade those doors.
Oh, well, Rip, get wrecked.
This is one of the most difficult fights to take sometimes when you're stuck in this building. So many doorways to try and defend, and the team that's attacking can pick and choose just how they want to pluck you out of this building. So I'm interested to see how Oxygen go about this.
Yes, Reed's running with a Buster Sword. Takes control of the door on the outside. He says he's going to pull that thing out. No material added this time around, but looks like Oxygen, we're going to decide to leave this fight for now, and I think it's smart. You can see there was Watson fences down. There's potential of a gen coming up pretty soon, and it also slows down the rotate. So Oxygen, having not got
unfortunate puppies,
decided it's more important for us to continue on our path. On team who's also continuing on our path in a more aerial route.
So it looks like Sweet's contest ended up not really being a contest again.
It's looking like teams are starting to stack up here. This could be our end game.
Yeah, I think everyone is back.
Blue armor, just chill.
I'm fried, I'm batting.
You're gonna get shot from across.
I'm nading them. I'm on inside. Nading them.
I'm safe here. I'm full safe on me. Just keep queuing it.
Evan side.
Just keep queuing it. They can't peek it. Make sure you don't let them swing me because they can swing me.
But you said you were full safe. The fuck?
Better. Your side's not that safe from the height.
I'm safe on me. Safe on me. I'm going across. I'm going across. I got shit on. You gotta look. You gotta look.
Nading that.
Wait, what? I got shot from a height. From epi height.
You're not gonna hit it here. We're fucked.
You're right. I don't understand because it's a bullshit call and you know it, Moon.
Keep queuing it. Keep queuing it. Oh. Go to construction. Can you go to the construction building?
Yep. Yes.
Moment, I'm probably thinking this isn't a very fun game, is it? Just let us survive. And now they've got decisions to make. Do they go for the banner? Do they try and get in a position to get a hull back in the game like we saw DarkZero do? I was holding my breath to make sure that the Kraber reticle didn't wobble for Ziny there, because you could see he was lining it up.
He certainly has a sight line on it, but doesn't want to waste too many bullets on kills that they can't necessarily convert. So just going to hold and have some trigger discipline. As I say that, he's like, actually, screw it, they're on the balloon, it's easy targets.
Imagine if he hits that with the bullet drop, that would have been quite some shot. Dainu now decides he's going to turn his rotation away, and you have to say PLP, not only are they in a great position power-wise, because they have the height of epicenter to look over all the teams moving in from Monument, as TSM, of course, found out. Having that Kraber up there as well makes it so difficult for any teams to even consider pushing them. They know where those bullets are coming from. They will have heard that Kraber being fired in such a distinctive audio cue for teams around. So PLP are going to be safe up here for quite some time.
Yeah, a great circle pull for them and the position they found themselves in, as everyone's going to have to head to Monument. There is still places to play here, or space to play, either way it works. A lot of room on the southwest side, and even though it's not going to be a guaranteed position for you in the late game, it is somewhere you can survive if you are rotating late from the southern side. So it's not going to be all doom and gloom straight away, but you need to have a secondary plan once you get there. So there's kind of checkpoint areas where teams can position themselves temporarily, but then what is the bigger picture? How do you win this game? That's what everyone's thinking at the moment. When you're in this kind of stage, everyone's like, where do we need to go to win? No one's really committing to fights and committing to just second place just yet.
One team that is committing to fight is going to be DNO, and they've got a fight going down at the moment, just up on those tracks. Xenox has taken quite a bit of damage himself. The Conduit always going to be down as well, and it's going to be DIG who are causing them problems at the moment. Duplex, he's got a Buster Sword of his own, and I've got a feeling that it's probably slowing him down a little bit because that thing's pretty heavy.
Duplex is in trouble, guys.
Has to be careful here. He was maybe hoping he could get a little cheeky res off, but it's not going to happen. There's too many teams with eyes on. and it's just about survival here. Still 19 squads remain, so you know that every angle you take, any position you try and move in, there's probably going to be someone who can see you. It's not going to be an enjoyable experience from here on out, but other teams looking just to try and pick up that free KP, really.
So many bad Final Fantasy VII references going through my head right now, by the way. See the Buster Sword, he pops the Phoenix. I'm like, he'd use the summon. You know, it's all of that anyway.
We get it. You love Final Fantasy.
You can tell I was excited by the crossover, everybody, can't you? Yes, okay, I was alive when the original came out. What are you going to say about it? FaZe, they're back over towards Geyser. Made a little bit of a change and maybe just going for a little bit of a, shall we say, the comfort of home where they did land and trying to rotate how they would want to had they not been contested.
I actually really like this FaZe roster, and the more that I see them play, the more that I think they can be a real threat coming into this season. I've always had a lot of respect for Snipedown and his ability, but we've got to talk about Pandas and Zero and what they've been able to do previously on other teams and what they add actually to this roster. I think that as a unit, these guys, they play in a similar way. They know what they want to achieve, and in the fights we've seen them take, they seem to be working well, and chemistry is naturally coming to them here. So I think as they grow and as we continue to get through the season, they're only going to get better.
Yeah, I think that's the important word to use though, right? Grow. I think one thing that people were looking at on this roster is like, who is the leader? Who is going to be taking the reins? And I think Zero Tricky has done the majority of that. You could say that maybe co-IGLing has been Pandas, and Snipedown's been put into a position of comfort, which is pick up the kills. You know, do what you do best and make sure you hit those nice Snipedown-like flanks and you clean up damage that we do. But Oxygen Esports, who, speaking of fraggers, are 3 of the best. And they're having to force their way through the tunnel at the moment, and Reeds is going to be taking off that head glitch.
Well, actually, I think they're holding out this team in the tunnel, so it's working out okay for them. You just have to sit back, wait for the other team, and press their advantage if it comes up. Black Hole will go down, but 30 damage, 15, 30. Oh, and it's good ticks with the Volt to make sure the Sleepy Panda goes down. The rest of the team supporting Vayne there to get the initial knock.
Sleepy Panda, take a nap. As that first knock is not going to be capitalized on as yet. As we see now the swing coming in, the shots from Reeds again are going to be pretty good, and surely this is going to be a clean wipe. No one should really be thinking about going down here for Oxygen, and that's exactly the case. A great team fight from them. They hold out perfectly. GKS will be eliminated. It's our second squad to go down. And once again, Dan, we have a slow burner of a game where we are seeing everybody realize, even in week 1, how important every single game is here to make sure that when the standings are done at the end of the season, you have as many points as you could have racked up.
Yeah, I mean, there was a period of time during ALGS where you would just get points for where you finished in the overall standings, but now it's about your accumulated points of where you've placed, of where you've got kills that go into the overall standings as well. So it's not about trying to play catch up in games 4, 5, and 6. Instead, it's about trying to put as much points on the board in general, and that's why we still will see teams playing it slow, playing their game, not doing anything crazy, not taking too many risks, even in these latter matches. Now, there was a short period where Skirt were also in landslide looking at Oxygen, but that fight finished too quickly, so they moved back north, and they're one of the 4 teams that are outside of this zone at the moment. Everyone else kind of in Monument, in and around it. Teams like FaZe, Optic, Drop In, they're all gonna have to move in ever so slightly. TSM's still alive with the 1, by the way, but teams like Elevate, LG, Oblivion, Native, DarkZero have all found home in Monument.
Chat, I might look at getting a 4070 maybe.
Yeah, I wonder if TSM's a 1 or a 2.
I think I would actually be able to run that with my current rig.
Was a 1 who has become at least a 2. And
we just throw in some more
3 is DNO. We saw them take that fight.
RAM, and I think my rig would actually be like
pretty hard to get back into that
solid.
You should have some crafting available.
Could look at maybe upgrading like the CPU later.
To get the right amount of,
but that would like literally let me do I think just about anything I want to do.
By the looks of things, otherwise it looks like Dupe is just 10 times faster than everyone else. But FaZe working their way in here to Monument, the west side of it at the moment. And I think one thing to talk about here with FaZe is this is going to be a tough rotate for them to make. And these are the kind of games where I think you get a good gauge on how a team is going to be led, because they are going to have to work their way through the majority of the lobby here if they want to be successful. It's not an easy move for them to make, and with 50 seconds left, this is where the decisions are going to have to be made. And I'll tell you what, we've got a listening ready. Let's go into the comms and see exactly what the plan is.
Yeah, Monument's so new to me still.
Yeah,
look around, just start. Ping, I want you to ping something.
They just like...
I mean, I just know bridge, and we can work in from bridge, and that's all I really know.
Okay, bridge, do bridge here. Find LOS.
There's a team right next to me. I just landed on a full team.
Bro, my
oh, dude, Snipedown just landed right on Optic.
That was fucking tragic.
God, bro.
They're all on the bridge. Oh my god. Yeah, we just went way too fast, I think, right there.
That's tough.
I think is the takeaway from that one, Dan. still waiting to see what the results of.
But like, where else do they go there, right? Like, that's the only problem.
Exactly what you were talking about. Like, there was questions made, no really solid decision. It was like, I think there's only.
Look for it.
DZ's got a team right on top of them. It looks like.
Wait, come pick thingy. Come pick the shit construction. Drone? Crypto drone, no. It's a crypto drone. It's crypto, it's crypto. Wait, the Watts is fucking dead, they can't fence.
Yeah, that's what I mean, they can't fence.
They have AP. Yeah, one person goes up different side. Okay, I'm nading up.
Okay, I'm gonna scan. I'm scanning now,
My nades.
Damn. Nice push up. Good shit. And now they're going to have a phenomenal spot here for DarkZero. They've got the high ground. And this is like dead ass in the middle of the zone. So it's going to be like where this thing's going to be ending.
I'm throwing 2 bats down. 2 bats down the thing. I'm looking for kills. There's a team here. They did it. Solo. Let's go. I'm going to get a gen. Play with it. Yes. No, I don't.
So TSM still playing as a duo right now.
I'm dating it.
Yeah, dude, this is such a good spot for DarkZero as long as they can stay alive, man.
Hey, he's blew up a few things. It's TSM. Come up, Jen. Come up. Oh, fuck. I'm okay. All you. Wait, I'm lost. Which side?
Secret Foreman is going to go out in 15. Take a quick look around, see if we got anybody else that's in a fight currently.
I think we play on this gen, sweet.
I'm throwing an there. We need to wait 20 more. We need to delay 20 seconds until the whole lobby runs at us, and these guys above us can't focus. They're walking behind. Funk peeking it.
So LG's the one that's below.
They're walling in.
I'm holding it.
Can you cut the wall?
DZ then, is that right?
We slowed them down.
I hit one for flash. I hit one.
Yeah.
You need to be. Yeah. We're okay right now. I'm watching behind us.
Nobody on the wall.
Yep, they're just playing out there, which is kind of bad, but we're okay for now.
We have the wall right here.
That heady is really good, Slayer, for anyone peeking this. Bang out happening behind us. I'm 1 bat, 1 cell. You guys didn't get heals, right?
I'm 1 bat.
Okay. They're still there.
Watch your back, boys. We're hard.
So the TSM duo ends up going out in 14th. So TSM continues to fall.
Yep,
DZ's still alive. Remember, DarkZero's going to be on top of LG right now. They've still got 3 alive.
Them all in the corner with fucking purple.
And since DarkZero's going to know they got a team below them, they're just going to vibe up where they're at. They kind of get to watch this lobby just kind of dwindle itself down.
12 teams live and we have a team right on our back. I'm just chilling at the moment.
Yeah, keep looking at that shit.
We have a team on our height as well, so if we fight these guys, we get insta-thirded. That's kind of the issue I'm thinking about. They're still right here out of peak. Wait, they might. Oh yeah, they're safe on that corner. If we fight that, we get insta-thirded by height. Okay, we actually we don't have a bad feed in this next zone.
We can walk in from over here, I think.
Yep.
And that's like a good walk in.
There could be teams in these corners though. That's the only thing I'm worried about.
Peek bottom here.
Do you guys have a bunch of meds? I'm 1-1.
What's it looking like, Zai?
It's clear. There's no one down here.
We
should just take it.
You want to take it? I'm down. Come.
It's horrible.
All right, so PLP is going to try and take space here in this zone that's already going to be closing in. I think them being first is kind of a bad idea here, to be honest, just because there's so many teams left.
Swing together.
And I don't think that spot's that safe.
Okay, we need to go there late.
Do you need it?
Yes, I need it.
Take. Yeah, but can we go there late and I just smoke off what I smoked off, I think? Can we just look behind?
Wait, middle height's not in. What if we just take the height of it?
DZ's dropping onto LG.
No, both 1 shot. No.
DZ was able to drop down onto LG, push them away. I kind of want to hang with DZ, I ain't gonna lie. It feels like they're hot right now. Good push down by Zero. Able to get LG out of there.
Getting 2 on. They play top. We need to kill him. They ulting now. No light. I got you light, yeah. Thank you, Peter. They're there. 1 more. Are we in the wall? Wait, right on the wall.
Okay.
Wait, play to kill this. Play to kill this. Hey, come down. Come down.
Good push. Good push together. Because then they can full swing this back up top. They got to stay alive here.
Dead. One more.
Nice.
Yep.
Damn. They killed Jen Burton, though. That might have been an unnecessary push by DZ, if we're being perfectly honest.
Really? Good damage, Kirk. Still there. Shoot. Good damage.
Whoa. Oh. Damn.
Run over. Come over. Fuck.
Well,
So much.
that's unfortunate.
Nice! Someone come to me, maybe! No. You're good.
DarkZero's gonna be out. Come on, Rambo.
I have no heals either. If you guys can drop me some, like anything. I don't have shit, man.
I have a bat.
Recharging my shield. Don't worry about me.
Let's go, Rambo.
I have to try to get.
They got a bit of a rotation here, though. The zone's gonna be right up on their ass. They got a team on this route to their left.
I'm one right now. But yeah, we should. You ready? 53 bang. 53 bang. Wait till my med kit's off.
Final rings closing.
The Watson's healing. We should drop and just play under now. Come here, come to me.
Holy shitballs.
There's a cart right in front of you on the stairs that you can drop to.
Wow. He just got dropped, dog. Holy shnikes.
I'll pick it. Almost cracked it. I'm killing selling.
Bro, Bo just got dropped. Phew.
Climbing up here.
Breaking it. They're on the wall.
Yeah.
Batting.
It's last guy.
All that place though. You should maybe wall this. Maybe wall the right side.
All right, so Optic stepping up in game 5 here.
Climb up and wall the right side. I think we have wall the right. Yes. They're both left.
Okay, I'm going right.
We have all the space. I think towards all of them.
Nades.
I'm safe on me.
I'm getting back here.
Safe on me.
Safe on me. Popping a cell.
Just fucking play.
Hold here. There's a second floor. 120. On a conduit, I think.
I'm safe on this fucking crate.
I'm playing on you. Our wall's about to go down soon.
They have to drop into each other. 78 on top guy. They walled. Don't let these get right side. Oh, we can't.
Yeah.
They just have to drop into each other. I'm telling.
I might just where's the other team? Okay, they're on the height.
They're fighting. Queuing up.
Yeah, they're in there.
Turn on 150 dead.
On our right, close back, careful.
Yeah, careful.
Horizon's one, they're both one.
Okay.
On you guys.
Last guy's one.
Get second.
We got second.
Okay. Nice.
Flat's another team that's been doing pretty good during the
Flat will be the champions of the penultimate game.
preseason.
Get some good points on
Like
the
being
board.
pretty
It's like
consistent in
holding
scrims.
down a really strong position for the majority of that game, Dan, who do get their first win of the day.
Nice.
Yeah, you saw
I feel like they've
Ulti
been
up
pretty
in the
quiet
air, just
today, though, haven't
disrupting
they?
Optic Gaming as well, and giving Flat a little bit more freedom as they utilize that Dark Veil to push over onto the right-hand side. And it was what Optic were worried about. They said, don't let this team push on the right side, but you can't counter a Dark Veil sometimes without a horizon maybe to get above it, especially when another team can potentially drop on you. So unfortunate for Optic, but they still secured.
Yeah, I mean, they only have 28 points now.
KP, far better than
Run ads. Good call. Good
Yeah,
call.
should push them at least up towards the top half of the leaderboards, which is a big difference, right? We talk about some of the weeks that you look back on if you don't qualify for lands, and there's usually one outlier. If you're pretty consistent and you at least put points on the board week to week, then you feel confident you're going to have a good week at least. And a team like Optic Gaming with the talent they have,
Well, first place is pretty well secured. Feels like second place.
As it was after 3 games. So Optic a very good start, but Flat again,
comfortable.
A team who we
I don't want to say
they
secure.
get their first win of the day here, and a strong performance from them to show a little bit of resilience in that final circle and good decision making when the pressure was on.
Yeah, good decision making, and you say it all the time, hitting their shots as well in those final moments. We can see teams get those.
You're trying to put it together a challengers team, Riggs.
Through with the damage afterwards, and they were able to do exactly that. Yes, help from the other team, and Albrelelli dropping in where he did, but you still have to convert those games and take those chances when they're presented to you.
Yeah, it's very, very impressive stuff. This is how things look after that game. Of course, Flat on top.
I do not know anybody who's trying to do the challenger circuit.
Kills, 20
by the way.
points total for them. So very, very strong game. And we mentioned how Optic felt like they had a strong one as well. They had AKP to go along that side.
Decent game for Optic and Flat, but both of them have been relatively quiet before this.
Further down with placements, but 9 kills down.
I mean, Flat had 11 points. Optic was like at 14.
Putting down and laying down the points at the moment. 12 is a huge game considering they finished in 6th place, and that's thanks to
DarkZero trying to get the extra bonus point for having a 50-point difference between them and second place.
Couple of placement points on the board, so very important for him and for the squad. As we look down at the bottom 10, I'm sure there were still teams who were able to pick up kills here or there. Yep, just a few threes, a few team fights won between certain squads, but then again, early fights not going the way of other teams.
I did want to mention as well, by the way, Sykes somehow got DarkZero out of that position, and I don't know if they were alive along. They were actually, because he got the kill onto the final member.
I feel like you and Macro and Oogie and Micro.
So just little things like that, a lot of eyes on him, understandably, joining that DarkZero roster. It's
Probably.
a big move to make, right? It's, you know, Exet are a team who have had success in North America. We know how good they've been. Have they been able to turn up on LAN in the same way? You have to maybe say no. Historically, they haven't, but DarkZero have won championships. You can kind of maybe understand why that move was enticing for him. But again, he would be aware of what's happened previously on that DarkZero roster, right? He would
like
be
you'd
aware
call
of
like
the
rotations
that have been there, but I got to give a huge amount of respect to him for making that
and
move,
zones.
for making that play.
Look, you'd probably call like the fight
as well in the first week here that he can be that consistent missing piece that maybe DarkZero and Jem Burton and Zero felt themselves might have been missing.
Yeah, and it's, you know, even though it's a tough decision and it's a risky decision, it's a smart one as well. You're joining LAN winners. You're joining the only other team that has ever won trophies in this game, and you're putting yourself within the opportunity to be the best, and you're trusting that DarkZero can find that same kind of firepower that they had in previous seasons.
Well,
he said that man don't know how to.
It's going to be Flat, the winners of our previous game, even though we had a big points total coming in from DarkZero. These two teams.
By the way, the Flat logo is hilarious.
Involved in that final fight, first place and second place, 12 placement points and 9 respectively, as you would imagine, and not much between them. Dan, you're looking at damage stats, you're looking at assists, maybe a few more for Optic, but that's about as close as it gets.
Yeah, quite a similar story, really, and. The only thing that teetered Flat over Optic was the fact they were able to win that last fight and get that extra little bit of damage, and just a comparison of Nano and Skittlecakes as well. A very different story, but Skittlecakes for me is always one of these players that you can rely on to put the damage, but Nano with 2k damage really stepping up for Flat on the Bangalore and making sure that they are making themselves as big as possible, outputting damage like that.
I've got to say, I do like the logo, but as we all know, the Earth is a cube. Anyway, moving you through to the totals. It's a joke by everyone, don't be weird. DarkZero up on top, 82 points, and they are establishing a lead, Dan. Now,
well,
get excited,
well, first place is done. Let's be honest.
I'm not say until the end of the show, right? I'm just saying potential bonus points. They win the next
yes.
If they win by more than 50 points, they will be awarded with an extra bonus point.
They're gonna need TSM to go out early, though.
You know, TSM would have to fall early again, which it has.
And they'd have to have a pretty good game.
Gone the way that it did for Storm Point for them, but most importantly, DarkZero have 82 points. Mark, they are putting on such a clinic at the moment, such a huge points haul, which is going to do them wonders. Even early days, thinking about qualification for.
I'm gonna laugh my ass off when we get to the end of the split, and the top 2 teams in NA are from APAC South.
No one really knows how it's going to work until we get into these lobbies, and I think if you have early success here, like DarkZero have, and as they would expect to have as well, I think it just means that they believe that this was the right move, right? And they're going to feel very, very confident going into the weeks ahead. Speaking of what's coming up, we've got one more game to get done, and we're going to go for a quick break before we get there. We've got one more game on World's End.
Imagine.
When we get back, we're going to bring it to your eyes.
Complexity going to Sam over in Rocket League. That's Timmy, by the way. Moist, because Moist is in NA.
Welcome back, everybody. I tell you what, it's been a great day, Dan. It's been so good to have the ALGS back. I've had a smile on my face for the majority of the day because I've just been enjoying being back and seeing the Apex on our screen, seeing all the team changes and how they're working out. But we've still got some unresolved business ahead of us as Flat take the previous game. We've got one more game on World's Edge to see if DarkZero can.
All right, game 6 chat. Let's lock it the fuck in.
So far, if it ends with a bonus point, by the way, you've got to come up with something. A bonus. I don't know what it is, but
a jingle.
It's a moment, Dan.
It would be a moment. At some point, someone will achieve a bonus point in this ALGS season. I promise you that. But will it happen on the very first match day of Year 4? That is the real question. Back over to the contests that are happening then. It's going to be Geyser again. FaZe looks like they're going to go for the same kind of path. They'll take the center zone, and on the flip side, it's going to be looting over towards Vault. So it may not even be a contest really at this point. It's both teams splitting the POI.
Yeah, this is just yeah. I mean, it has been a contest, but I think both teams have realized that there's not really any point. We get enough loot, which is somewhat surprising, seeing as guys are seen as one of those POIs.
Armor, we maybe fight this. If you
we can fight this. Just keep running.
They're gonna be running at us like idiots.
Ooh, so I'm guessing PLP must die relatively quickly if Frex is already offline.
We have got
north. Go north.
I mean,
where are they?
Nemesis right here.
All right, I'm running back. Just run out and loot north. Yeah, they beat us. You kind of fucked the initial like up and down, and they beat us by a second.
There's a blue swap in here now.
So you need to run and get to the roof of the 2-story right now, or we're gonna lose it.
Digi. We went that for free. If you just smoke and fight.
I need to grab this. Blue.
Digi.
I know. Oh, you already swapped.
I'm trying to spread out. I think they might be there already.
White swap.
I can't see the. Start looking out. Stop running to the edge of the map and just run to the donut.
Countdown's looking.
Yeah, countdown is looking. Yeah, we just need to loot. Please just run into the donut next time. You guys. This is our loot.
I couldn't go low ground. Well, I was low as shit, bro. I couldn't run to the donut. You just have to repeat it.
It's gonna throw us. Not being able to just fight these guys for the contest is so boring. Knowing EA.
That might be Hilltop on the house is where our finish could be, and FaZe have positioned themselves very close to it, but Drop-In Gaming taking one of the priority positions.
So PLP must lose their first fight because they're still up at Climatizer and Frex is already offline.
Console information. So look at this decision being made by TSM, defining quick rotate, leaving with white, blue from Siphon because they had a ring console, and of course they have the ability to hit it. So they're going to be in a great position here to get into a good spot, what they believe is going to be for end zone, and I'm pretty sure that anyone who goes through Siphon would have seen the TSM aren't here. Where at TSM, we're going to have to follow them.
And look at everyone following as well. As soon as they see someone in the sky diving over towards Geyser,
where is my TSM? There's my TSM.
I don't have wall. You're fine.
I'm healing right now. Say peek height, I'm fucking dead.
Can you shoot? Can you shoot Geyser height, Evan?
So we're gonna get Slim Shady.
Come.
How?
I almost killed him. I got you, baby. I got you.
Back again for Year 4, it looks like.
Good stuff. Here, take. Yeah, good.
Holy fuck. That was insane.
Shields recharging.
I have an R9 for you, Hal. You still an RE?
Yes.
Here. Grab.
People are like rotating so fast.
I have a 1 to 2 for someone.
I don't need it.
All right, so there is vibe in here now. They've been able to get their building. DZ's got 2 purples and a white tee currently. EA's got 2 purples and a gold. 2 white tees on the PLP squad. Oh, that's not the PLP squad. That's the FaZe squad. Sorry. Chaotic Muncha. So GKS 2 blues. 2 blues and a purple on LG. And Native's 2 blues and a purple.
Rotation.
Yeah, I've been pretty impressed with the decisions.
Native's been unfortunately quiet.
Zach Major as an IGL has been a little bit guilty of sometimes in the past is not taking that extra beat to think about the decision. And it seems like this time they're just taking that extra second sometimes just to make, is this the right play? Yeah, it is. Okay, let's commit to it. Instead of I'm going, everybody follow me. You know, I think that the communication's been pretty good, and you know, watching them go through the PLQ is a good indication of how their comms are, of course, been sounded and how they have been commanded by Zach. And I've got to say, I've got a lot of good things to say about this team. I think they really are working well together. And plus, Zach's got the Buster Sword. You know, I'm a big fan immediately. Hey everyone, I played Final Fantasy. Did you know that?
Right, just as a final note on this.
He's like, hey, I don't know if you know it, but I played the original Final Fantasy VII.
I actually love that. I can have an heirloom no matter who I'm playing. But yes, I know you love Final Fantasy. I can tell.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm a big fan.
They're making... Go on. I was a little bit worried they were going to be pushed by this squad. I thought the nade was coming their way, but actually they are the aggressors, and they won't be challenged just yet. But the circle, with it moving so far east here, everyone on this western side kind of has to move one of two ways. You have to go fast or slow. If there's any middle ground, you could be punished. So you need a clear direction of which way you want to move.
I think one thing to point out here is a comparison of something we talked about in the previous game where we were saying, hey, FaZe have a tough rotate here. They have to go through a lot of traffic. They had to go through Monument. And when we went to the listening and the decision-making process, it sounded a little bit like there was a lack of confidence on the call and who was going to be making it. Well, let's compare what happens in this game to DarkZero, right? Because they've had to go all the way over from Skyhook trial side towards where Geyser is going to be. And that is just as tough a rotate. So many teams to have to go through for them. And I'm just interested to compare how they navigate it in comparison. Because this is an opportunity for TSM to maybe close that gap, right? TSM were in second place before that previous game. DarkZero have kind of extended that lead ever so slightly. But TSM have perfect prio to this zone. Plus, they had the ring console to give them a little bit more zone information. So it's kind of a tale of two different teams this time. One's quickly rotated to what they think is going to be Godspot. One has to work their way through so much traffic. And you can see DarkZero there right at the top of your screen, making their way just past Countdown towards Monument. And TSM banging the center of that zone. I think it's going to be a very interesting story to follow.
Yeah, you've got to look at the entry points here of Geyser and surrounding areas. Chokes on the northern side, a big choke on the southern side as well. So your safest bet you'd think would be arriving from the west, but then you're going to be going through the most amount of teams because there's the most playable area there. So there's going to be a lot more eyes on you. So it's whether you try and be sneaky and make for a south or north rotation, or whether you just try and brute force your way in. There's always the option of evac towers, and we have seen successful evac towers so far today. Speaking of the devil, DarkZero are going to start evacing themselves closer towards zone.
Going to have to be a step-by-step process again here for DarkZero, and they do have the little bit of the cushion, so to speak, with the points that they've already put on the board to know that even if they work their way into the top 10 here with a couple of KP, it should be enough, you would imagine, to maybe win it. But elsewhere, there's a couple of teams who are having to work much, much harder for place 1 points, as well as KP that's going to put them in a position to move up and forward in those rankings. Skirt is going to be one of those teams. You can see that Albalelli at the moment is having to hit a few wall bounces to avoid some bullets, and they've just about managed to do so. I say that, though, Albalelli's going to have to hit more if he wants to escape and be able to heal.
As a Phoenix kit available to him, just needs to have cover from the rest of the team. He should be fine.
Oh.
Nice cover for you. Oh my goodness, the 30-30. Doing exactly what you will need and what you require when you are covering a teammate. Disgusting gun, I will say, by the way.
Double heady and the body with the HCOG. Okay. Awakening, name to watch for sure. PLP though, one of the names to watch last season, a man who ended up winning a LAN championship. He's going to be a death box right now as PLP will be eliminated. And even though we were saying some good things about it, I think they'll be a little bit disappointed with their final standings here as Complexity. They'll be in a really good spot here. They have the Hill House, and this is a great spot to be holding for this zone.
Yeah, the PLP's day started a little bit better than it ended, that's for sure. But
all right, let's take a look around real quick on our
26
multi feed.
No, 26 points. They haven't got 26 kills. Ignore that. Their overall point is 26. They're looking to try and improve that going into match
like most of our teams are kind of vibing at the moment.
They should be able to do so from their position. There's definitely points that are available to them. Speaking of flat, our previous winners in 6th at the moment, They're arriving from the southeast side, but a few teams holding them out from Lava Siphon. And with the circle now moving back over to Siphon as well, ever so slightly, depending on who had that ring console information, this may change rotations a little bit, and we might see more teams just trying to stay alive on the edges of Siphon.
Yeah, interesting to see what the play is here for a few of these teams. Skirt's still being chased, by the way. This has been a little bit difficult for them. They finally will have their game ended. It felt like they were kind of just being chased or stuck between a couple of teams a few times, and they weren't able to make too much work. That DarkZero was going to be perfect, though, to stop the push coming in from Oxygen. They do want to push, by the way. There's a Skynade for them, a little present with their name on it. And Oxygen, who, again, 11th place today, haven't had an Oxygen day where they've had a game where they put up a huge amount of kills, but 11th place puts you in striking distance here, right? If you finish inside the top 3 with some good kills, then you could turn that into a 6th, 5th, 4th, even 4th if you can convert.
Yeah, you want just to have a consistent amount of points each week if you want to be ending up at playoffs, and I'd say personally for me, you want to be aiming for 30 plus. If you can achieve 30 plus each week, you're probably going to be in a relatively comfortable spot, even if you don't have one of those demon weeks. But Oxygen are capable of having that big game, so they certainly can propel themselves up the leaderboards here in match number 6 if they can find themselves in a good position. Speaking of positions, this was the northern choke that I was talking about. DarkZero are going to hold, and it's just Temper. They're the only team on the northern side that really DarkZero should have to worry about.
Yeah, DarkZero have got all the head glitches, all the rock formations to play here as well. Temper are going to have to move towards them. You wonder what the composition is for Temper, maybe, if they have a Bangalore that can force DarkZero back for a few seconds to give him a little bit more space with that ultimate. But look at the zone down, and look at FaZe. FaZe are slap bang in the center.
FaZe have got themselves a really good spot here.
There's a couple of areas, of course, that you can play for cover, but FaZe are going to be feeling very good. And it's
DarkZero, hold on.
And we'll come back to the...
Damn. Actually tuned in right at the right moment for that. I like that. Wow. Zero. Brother. Kill leaders here now early.
I'm gonna heal my pet.
56 on him, 56 on him.
Fuck, he's so low. I got body shots, or I got leg shots. Could've killed him.
Only got a nemesis.
Oh, hold on. Looks like, oh! Why don't I hear anything?
Give me some time, Sykes. Give me some time.
Does Shuby have no sound and he doesn't realize it?
I see them at angles. Minus rocket 60. He's stuck by the rock. I can take the head. I'm mucking. You gotta fuck me. I'm batting. I'm with you, Sykes. I don't mind. I'm not going to time. Look.
Reload.
Shitty pissy team in the bottom building.
Yeah, we gotta go bottom right and then across and maybe fight a bar. I'm looting now. Get off repeaters.
I have wingman gold. I'm fucking chilling, baby.
Volt?
Yep, I have Volt.
There's a Volt here. Volt. A lot of energy. I think you switch. Jan.
I got Volt. Taking a evac. We have an evac too if we want to use.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone need ult back?
Me.
Can we play crane this on close?
Not sure right now.
We can play crane this on.
I'm not sure right now. Can we get evac off? I don't know. I don't think we get it off. No, this team. I think we go down. There's no. Is there a team close, right? Building?
I'm scanning.
Yeah, there is.
No, there's not.
I'm scanning, but no one.
Follow me. We're gonna get Dorito. Oh, we can sit here for a sec. Oh, Q. Going in. I'm 5 down as well. Do you think respawn is bots or what?
I don't know.
Get Dorito and then... Scan Dorito? Scan Dorito, please? Scan Dorito?
Yep.
He's in the doorway. Yeah, okay. We go Dorito and then we... Yeah, we fight that team. We fight. Horizon cap. I think... Can you... Listen, you need to sit Doritos again. You need to... Ooh, fuck.
Ooh, hold on. Stand by.
You need to scan low ground. You need to scan low ground. And I think we can just gap it.
I don't think it's over the close side. Only the close side.
Yeah, I think that's okay, to be honest.
Jen, do you have a digi or not?
Yes.
Watching this like this is the main broadcast chat. That's funny.
Okay.
My fault.
I don't know if we can make that. No, we played a 5 bar. Fuck it.
Team on crane. I have an RE45.
Just chill. Just fucking chill. Crowd.
All right, so TSM's in the middle of the zone
We
here.
cannot let the team above us shoot us.
Yep.
We're still safe. We're chilling.
I'm 1-3.
I am 4-2. Here.
I'm 4-1.
Here, take this.
I have a Loba down. Loba's down.
Can you help yourself?
No. They ran across. 2 guys ran across.
Damn.
Wait, they
Complexity's
left that.
out.
That's open now, but
DNO's also gonna go out.
I think we stay where we're at.
Yep.
I don't see why they would move. They're in an amazing spot.
No cells, right? Can you put a Moby down?
The team that's above them will get a lot of the attention from people looking their way.
Can't play that because it's gonna be someone's below me. We might get pushed because we put a Moby down.
I think so. Team on top bridge. Keep top bridge.
What do you have, Catwall?
Set 50. One have it.
Ulti cells.
We have to look. Yeah, shoot bridge. We gotta shoot bridge. And fuse off bridge side, okay?
Okay.
Dude over here,
I'm gonna fuse like right here.
You wanna cut off anyone that tries to come this way. Like use your thermites. Use your thermites and shit. They're fighting north side.
Over here.
Look north. 3 kills north.
Wow, they get free look there. They just have to worry about the team that's above them. Make sure that they don't look down. DarkZero's out.
Look east. Look east.
So that's DarkZero that just went down.
I'm gonna fuse
off.
Top bridge.
Does that mean TSM could still technically... could they catch up to them? I think the lead was too big, right?
I killed one. I killed the 8. Yeah, I killed the 8.
Nice. That's huge, bro.
Look east still. Look east. They might be playing the corner here.
Honestly, they're in such a phenomenal spot.
Be careful, Evan.
Still a team above us.
Yeah, we're killing.
Yep.
Can we look down at this team below?
I can see you if you look down. I can see you.
Yeah, I know, but...
I can anchor and look building.
Yeah.
I'm looking towards building.
This team here is team below.
I cracked one, a cat underneath.
Another team like on the fence, on our fence is a team on the opposite side.
Okay.
And there's a building team.
I'm getting shot from above.
Oh.
I'm staring at building right now.
I'm throwing him back in. I'm not doing that anymore.
We just need to walk in slow with this.
Yeah, we walk in slow and we're chilling. We have to focus the height. They're gonna jump down, Evan. Stop fucking with them.
Yep.
Focus the height. They have to jump down.
I have no cells, 3 bats.
Trying to cue them.
No cells, 3 bats.
They have red armor up there.
Just get ready to shit on them, Evan.
Out of them.
Get ready to shit on them.
Right side, I think.
And my Q disappeared.
I don't think you have to wall that. I don't think you save wall. Is there a
The
team in the building?
Rampart, huh?
Yes, there's a team in the building.
We're not Rampart.
You
have fuse all good in?
No, and I'm at 20% off. 20% off.
They're in the building. They are in the building. No, I don't need it. They might jump from the other side.
Get ready. Height might jump.
Your Q did nothing.
Someone with building.
Wingman on height. They just down one on across.
Someone with building. Someone with fence.
I'm gonna send them height. I'm gonna queue them up and send them in the air.
Okay. Right here. They're
safe on me. Safe on me.
Safe.
All right, so they're gonna be able to stay away from that ult.
I'm marking them.
They're getting knocked.
They're gonna jump down.
Shoot the guy dropping. Watch out.
Watch your face. Look fence.
They gotta make sure there's nobody behind them. I'm pretty sure this is LGS on the fence line.
On us on fence.
Bang one.
I kill one.
He dropped.
Nice.
Play the height.
I'm like pretty sure it's
Look down the
LG.
kills. One solo.
Yep.
There's a solo somewhere.
I'm batting.
All right. You have Q for this?
Yes, I do. Take Q.
Nice. Do they avoid the ult? Where can they land at?
I'm hitting them. Falling off. Shitting on them.
Damn, but they landed so much shit. Hold on. Wait a minute. Phase out. Hold on. Hal going nutso?
We got second.
Still able to play for second there, though. It was really, really good.
Good shit. I think we could have just landed back on the height. I'm not gonna lie, no? Maybe it's...
Not dive down just yet. Don't worry, Mark. I didn't say it. I did consider it, though, as MK. Reps goes down, but Verhol sends himself in. 8 gang eliminated. 3 squads left.
Can they hold off the push, though? That's the question. Imperial How is left on his own. 8 gang down. FaZe eliminated. And it will be LG in the final game who introduced themselves to the Apex Legends Global Series.
So what were you saying about LG?
LG, Sweet takes down Hal. And maybe that decision is going to make them feel a lot better about this team change and what they can achieve in the season ahead.
Yeah, there was a lot of questions asked about Luminosity in general picking up this roster, especially the roster they had dropped previously, who were a top 5 team, now PH of course, and maybe a new team, but we will see what the name's going to be next week. These guys have demonstrated time and time
I would say that the top of our leaderboard looks pretty well what we would have expected here, right?
They play it successfully. Very impressed with how that's gone down. That's going to be a big points total for LG as well, which is going to put them right up there when we look.
The only way to kind of validate them and feel confident
I got a real quick.
is to win games of Apex. Well, LG have done that today. They win that final game and shown that they can get it done in the end game.
Yeah, we are going to see the gap closed as well with the points total from TSM. They put 17 points up, only 1 behind LG in the end. Looking elsewhere, FaZe 0 kills, but they were able to get into that final 3 with that rat in the end from some clever map positioning, it has to be said, especially without a ring console to work with. DarkZero down in 10th, but they will still have the kind of trophy, as it were, today. They are still going to be our victors. They are still going to put down an incredible points total across the 6 matches. But the top 10, a very impressive game in some teams who really needed it.
Yeah, Elevate again inside that top 10, some KP, some placement points. That'll do them every single day of the week. Elsewhere, the winners of our previous game, Flat, not so much of a good game in our final one of the day. Just a 1 point for them. Skirt a little bit quiet, and POP, I have to say, a little bit quiet today on the overall standings. Complexity as well. They had a pretty good start to the day, but just got a little bit quiet towards the end of it. And I think it's going to be interesting to watch how the final standings look now that we see A and B conclude. And we see the points being put on the board down.
We're certainly starting to see some front runners, I would say, in this region, Rain Day. I mean, it's clear that DarkZero, TSM, Elevate are all up there, but LG also putting themselves in contention to be mentioned here.
Absolutely. Killers ready to go, win any game at any moment. These are the teams in A and B that are going to give us an electric performance every time they clash. We'll be seeing, obviously, this group come together in a few weeks again, but that was amazing. Let's walk through those last moments on World's Edge, because there are a few teams we mentioned at the top, guys. You know, TSM, DZ, obviously FaZe had a good game there. LG with their first win, which was big for Sweet. But in this first World's Edge game that Onset, you and I cast, there are a few teams that surprised me as well. E8, great positioning. DarkZero, they really started to turn the corner and really put themselves in first place. But teams like Ape Gang, who 10 points in this last game in game 6, had really the god spot for most of the time here before this final zone.
Yeah, they did. They had a really good spot up on that crate. And the difficulty, as I mentioned, is the zone pull away from them kind of just caused them a few problems because they had to drop from that height. And as soon as you land, everyone else is just going to take a second to get in that fight. And we know how good these teams are and how well they team fight. And that second is enough for damage to be done and for the fight to be resolved. But I think DarkZero for me, and probably the team, understandably, who were the most impressive today. And I'm not just talking about results, I'm talking about synergy. I love how Sykes has just naturally fitted in on this team, right? Everyone has a clear role with just naturally how they play Apex. And I think I'd be pretty scared if I'm the rest of North America and the rest of the world at the moment with how they are progressing as a team in, I would say, arguably a very short amount of time that these players have been playing together.
It's really been a marvel to watch, and we've seen it unfold right before our eyes. The questions becoming statements and then being answered so emphatically that there's a ton of exclamation points, kind of like you're trying to sound pleasant in a work email and not saying something that sounds like, hey, that's not going to work for me. When you go into the second game, though, game 5, I think ultimately this kind of set the tone of, could we see the start of something new for Optic, who I think, Dan, were on the tip of our tongues at the start of this match, kind of fell to the wayside for most of these games.
Yeah, really struggled on Storm Point. As I said, it could have been down to lack of ring console for them, but the fact they had this game, which I believe puts them around 5th place in the overall standings, means that it's still a successful week for them, despite not having the luck on their side,
chat.
as it were, over on the other map. So
Well,
it's so important.
we've
when
got
you
our
have these
scoreboard.
opportunities to get into a...
If you want to watch the rest of it, go watch the main broadcast. No, I need to get some rest, man. I'm tired. We've had a long weekend. We've watched all 4 regions. Those of y'all who have been coming through and hanging out with your boy over the course of all 4 regions, I really appreciate you guys. Y'all have been amazing. Here's the final scoreboard one more time here in case you guys missed it the first time around. DZ is going to be in first, TSM in second, Elevate, LG, Optic, FaZe, Ape Game, Skirt, Oxygen, and Oblivion rounding out the top 10. Can't really say there's any surprises in the bottom. Maybe PLP. I feel like PLP probably should have done better. I've got high hopes for Native Gaming, but I know that it's going to be a work in progress. I feel like the lobby kind of turned out pretty well how we were expecting. I feel like that top 5 was a lot of names that we threw out early. I would say the FaZe team kind of surprising in a positive way. But, yeah, man. Tomorrow we might pop live a little bit over on Twitch just for a little bit of gaming. A little bit of Rocket League just to kind of unwind. But then we do got to get to work, man. We got to get TLDR done for ALGS. Whether that means trying to get that thing pumped out tomorrow or more than likely get it done Tuesday, since Monday's videos usually don't perform as well anyways. But we'll have that. Don't forget that we did the first episode of the On Cue Sports podcast this past week. We'll have another episode coming this week, either Wednesday or Thursday. I haven't figured out which day we're going to do that yet. Something tells me we should probably do Wednesday, since we have RLCS on Friday during the day and in the evening. So yeah, keep an eye out of things, man. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Till we catch y'all back over here for the next one, man. Don't forget, everything crazy going on in the world today, be true, be you, be sincere. Game hard and love hard, all right, y'all? It's your boy Q, signing out.